Take 5, you stay in your car because we're faster than you think.
Oil change is done.
Monk on the beat. Monk on the beat.
What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the latest update on our very own Dallas Cowboys. And of course, as always, thank you so much for joining us here tonight, kicking off a brand new week here at My Cowboys Family. So
closer and closer to that training camp, guys.
That's right. So take a second to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us anywhere and everywhere at My Cowboys Family, and hop in the Discord. Link for that's in the description box. As we get rolling tonight, guys, we have some people we have to give the love and appreciation to because they're representing. Although I should say he is representing.
The takeover. That's a takeover, baby. And none other than the great Jason Renfro.
That's right. A 3-point takeover right now because not only is he currently the Cash App King, not only is he the sponsor of the week, but he currently has 65 points on that stream boss. So huge shout out to you, Jason. I appreciate you. Much love.
That's the complete takeover. Rarely done, seen on these MCF streets. Appreciate you, Jason Renfro. We got the full picture there. He's got that Randy White jersey that he won right here on My Cowboys Family. Star level membership. So we'll talk about that soon, guys. It's coming back in August. So get ready. Get in that star level membership. Speaking of, the man leading the whole way here, Jason Renfro, he got somebody already in first place on the overall board, kicking off a new week, and it's Dwayne Broussard with a $2 thanks he gave on one of our previous shorts videos today, one of our previous videos, our standalone videos. So much love to the top dog. Appreciate him. And also Brandon James Shea pre-streaming it with that dollar holler. I'm gonna put him on the board. He's in second place there right now, kicking off a brand new week. In the Cash App side of things, there's currently no one in there.
Yeah, brand new week. So,
but there's ways of dropping love, whether it's super chats, memberships, gifting memberships, which, by the way, Skeptical Fan is back in the lead for a third straight month. He's got May. He's locked that down with 24 that month. Last month, June, 35 for the record so far, back-to-back. And now he's in the lead with 7 gifted memberships already in July. And Jason Renfro right there with 2. So he's maybe trying to do a full takeover there. We'll see what happens in the July battle. And the star level members. Got to shout out the star levels every single night. You guys know who they are. They're listed above there all night. Of course, don't forget the man staying skeptical. Skeptical Fan in the house. He's the star level member there along with Jason Renfro battling up there on the top of the boards. Some of the OGs here on the membership side of things for years and years. So thank you guys. Also Lincoln Kane all the way from Australia and Mary Alvarez. So much love to those 4 in the top shelf star level membership. Still waiting to see 2 months in if anybody goes for that over everything level membership. You get to be on the show and here in itself. You still get the raffles and all the bonus stuff at the star level, but you get an extra little bonus of being part of the show for a full night, talking news, info, and updates, call-in style here, live on the show for a whole show. So that's interesting if anybody ever does take on that true top shelf membership. And hey, if we got a couple of people in there, we got to space it out throughout the month. Maybe once a week we get somebody on here. We'll see. But right now it's clear. and we got to celebrate. We just got celebrated with this 6-year anniversary here on YouTube. We're now in year 7 officially, I guess, and we could not do this without you guys. For the 6 years, we had our anniversary special on Saturday, and we also have a thank you guys for those that dropped the love here. 6-year anniversary jersey raffle, sewn and stitched jersey for the winner here on Sunday, July 9th. We're doing this live on MyCowboysFamily. So that's the basic part of it. We also got a second place prize, a great t-shirt, the Cowboys on the front of it. You saw it on the live stream yesterday.
Yeah, we'll be showing it off again.
Yeah, Skeptical fan, much love to him. Those both the sewn and stitched jersey, again, legends from all different eras from the Cowboys. 30 or 40 different guys you can choose from, different styles, sewn and stitched. The quality's great. And that's the first place prize. Second place, the t-shirt. And how do you get into this thing, baby, and stack raffle entries?
Again, you drop $6, bam, automatically entered. And they do stack, so every additional $6 is another additional bonus entry. And membership has its perks, because if you're part of the Navy, Blue, Silver, or Star, you do get 1, 2, or 3 bonus entries, respectively. So lots and lots of chances for you to win there.
Yeah. So again,
can't wait to see who the lucky winner is.
Again, last week we added all those entries up. Still kind of in the system of stacking those entries. We'll get that to the finalized on Saturday night. But now we still are extending this one more week. So you guys not in the raffle yet, you want to add memberships, this is the chance to do it now this week here. It ends on Saturday. Keep that in mind. And the reason we did this week, we missed a couple days last week. We're going to miss a couple days this week, unfortunately. But we want to make sure everybody had a chance to get in this thing if they wanted in and wanted to stack raffle entries. You're welcome to do that too, as we heard already. Memberships, the bonuses there, the perks there for the membership. And baby, who's in the house tonight, chilling with us for the kickoff of a new week here on MCF?
We have Jamar Chason, what's up? Hello and hi. Devontae Alvarez in the house. Rolando Rodriguez, much love. Cactus G in the place to be. Rudy G Funk, hello. We have Mike Aldana in the house, what's up? Landlord from Wakanda, hello and hi. Thomas Garrett the Superior, Garrett. Leaside Harold, of course. Michael Hooper, hello and hi. Skeptical fan, always staying skeptical, much love to you.
Yeah.
Freedom first. Being first. Hello and hi. Thanks for coming through. I think that's everybody here so far. As more people roll in, I'll make sure to give them their shout outs. But yes, guys, as you come on in, take a second to hit like, sub it up, hit the bell. But baby, let me hand it on over to you here in just a moment.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of updating the board. Brandon James Shea up in second place.
So, and by the way, guys, let us know as well in the chat. I don't know if anyone has any plans for tomorrow, 4th of July, obviously.
It's already official, actually, here on East Coast, right?
Yes, I know most people have the 4th off. I unfortunately do still have to work. So
I have it off. I'm happy to say sorry, baby.
I know. Hey, it's okay. We can't all have the privileges, right? So, but no, like I said, I know most people are off. So just let us know you're hanging with friends, family, having some barbecue, you're doing fireworks. We had all the best intentions of doing fireworks. And
tomorrow's
then
our last
I forgot,
shot, I guess, yeah.
And when I went by the tent, they didn't have any of the good ones. So
we're hoping they're
we'll
not
see
sold out tomorrow.
Yeah. Fingers crossed I can get it.
Well, also, our neighbors have great fireworks. So either way, they give great fireworks. So we'll be at least seeing some awesome stuff on our street here. But
let's see if
we can provide a little bit.
The drone doesn't get shot down this time. Oh, they didn't get shot down last time. Mr. MCF ran into a wall.
Yeah, I just went right to the wall there. So
see, Mike Aldana joins me in the working shenanigans. Yeah. So there you go, Mike Aldana and I in solidarity.
When I used to be actually at the hospital working, like at the actual hospital, not doing this from home.
Yeah, like physically.
Yeah, they would pay extra for that, but yeah, the hospitals don't close, ever. So yeah, you work all shifts. Some jobs do that. You got to do it. You got to do it too.
Yeah,
your job.
Again, food distribution. Yep. So supermarkets open, we're open. So there you go.
And now we're open here on MyCowboysFamily. Another one here in the books. So guys, what's the updates right now? Let me I usually don't start with Cowboy stuff, but there's not really much news out there like actual player team news right now for the Cowboys. There's a couple of things I wanted to bring up, but let me start off with the few things of team news there is. The countdown to training camp.
The final countdown. Sorry,
3 weeks, guys. No. It's perfect timing. 3 weeks from today, the Cowboys are reporting to training camp. Again, July 24th, the Cowboys have to check in. There will be physicals and different things like that, and then they'll get, they will have the next day, the 25th, they'll be, on the field doing some walkthroughs or whatever. Maybe the 26th they do the walkthroughs. The point here is, guys, there'll be walkthroughs until July 31st, which, by the way, that is the first padded practice, and that's 4 weeks away. So again, 3 weeks till they step into training camp in Oxnard, 4 weeks till they start hitting with pads. So I just want to make sure we're all on the same page there when it comes to what's next for the Cowboys. Now, Netflix and chill. Jerry wants to. Now,
Jerry's all about that Netflix and chill, apparently.
He is, because Netflix right now on the verge. It's not official yet, but it's about to be any day. Netflix on the verge of landing a Jerry Jones docu-series. Documentary, but it's a series, a compilation of, Netflix does their things. They put a short series, 4 or 6 series show out there, and they're going to pay Jerry Jones
a small docu-series.
Yeah, they're gonna pay Jerry Jones $50 million for who knows how many episodes. It's 6, 8, I don't know. It's 4. Who knows?
It's a good thing, or else he wouldn't be able to pay to be able to keep the lights on.
How can he keep that yacht?
Money.
Listen, next week the NFL is gonna debut their kind of endeavor into the NFL. Right? Netflix is actually, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, that they have this quarterback series focusing on Patrick Mahomes, Kirk Cousins, and Marcus Mariota. Who really cares about Kirk Cousins and Marcus Mariota? But
I've never seen the previous one.
Yeah, that's going to be out. So is Jason Renfro's comment here, as he's a star-level member.
Woo!
26 months rocking it here in the membership. What did the man say, Jason Renfro, the takeover king here for this week on MCF?
He said, "Football season is so close that I can taste it. I am so ready to watch our Cowboys go for that 6 and beyond. The road to the Super Bowl starts next month. Our time is now while it's hot, so let's go all in and get that 6.
6 and beyond, you know it.
Hey, that's going to be the kind of slogan, right? Let's go back to I'm messing around here. Let's go back to Garrett days. Remember how we always used to have like a word or a thing, right? So the phrase now is follow MCF on the 6 train.
6 and beyond here.
6 and beyond.
As we're already in year 7 now, officially entered into year 7 here on MyCowboy on YouTube.
Cactus G's comment cracks me up. He's like, they just wasted $50 million. If they just suggested it, Jerry would have paid for it himself.
Probably he would have pushed that. That's advertising.
He's like,
I'll
pay you $50 million to do the series.
So here's the thing that's important about Netflix, and it is important, guys, because Netflix they're starting their NFL venture here next week, literally, with Mahomes, Kirk Cousins, and Mariota, and there's another docu-series they got with those guys, a behind-the-scenes kind of thing. There now, Netflix is going to air that docu-series, next week, but eventually, Netflix is going to be airing Jerry Jones and that star, the Cowboys. Yeah, a docuseries focusing on the Cowboys owner, Jerry Jones. Now, I'll get to my opinions on this in a minute, but the reports are that Netflix is going to pay, quote, just under $50 million for the property of being able to show this. And the deal is not officially done, but Netflix said that they had to win a bidding war with other places. It wasn't like Jerry Jones even trying to sell it. It was like there was other people wanting to buy this, and I'm talking about ESPN was one of the high-end guys. They were in for this, probably a 60 and 60. Who knows? It was 60 for 60 ESPN, but who knows? The point is that Amazon also had a couple of others that showed early interest. Okay. So ESPN, Amazon. So in the end, Netflix
it sounds
pulled
like
it out.
Netflix won the bidding war.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
But like you said, one, we're seeing all these streaming services kind of fighting for their slice of the football pie, right? You have YouTube with the NFL REDZONE package. You have Amazon with their, Thursday night prime games.
Yeah, you
have Netflix
branching out,
producing, some hard-hitting behind-the-scenes football content. So Jason Renfro,
with the dollar holler,
coming through with $1 holler. Much love to you and a classic Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys, you know it. So yeah, I mean, and that's what is important to know here, baby, about this. I'll explain right here. But by the way, Jason Renfro, 67 points on that board now officially in a tie for second. Much love to everybody in the house. So I just wanted to say something here because NFL. So I have more information on this. Let me explain. NFL Films will produce this as they always do with their their cameras and the way they do things. They know how to do football programming. So NFL Films will produce this. Of course, it's sold to Netflix for almost $50 million. But here's the thing, guys: it's a 10-episode show. So it's going to be 10 episodes.
More than I thought. And
it's going to go through Skydance Sports. It focuses on, and this is kind of funny, the glory hole. The glory days of the 1990s. So the good, again, I'm going to explain what I think is a great thing, and I know Jerry's dancing around, but look, this move, it's really going to add to the increase of speculation that Netflix is eventually going to try to buy a package of NFL games. So they're going to try to bump out their Prime.
Amazon.
Yeah, they're going to try to bump out Prime and Amazon. They're going to try to push their way in and get some games live on their platform on Netflix. But they got to solve their live issues, and maybe you know this.
Oh, we all know.
Love is Blind, the live show issue from earlier this year. Of course, it was supposed to be live, and it was a catastrophe. It was like 100 people got to see it.
Pretty much every other kind of live Netflix event, that just happened to be like the second one, but I've tried to watch 3 of them. 0 for 3 Netflix. 0 for 3.
So they got to get their live streaming shit together. I'm going to be real about that. And again, that's going to probably take a year or 2 before it even gets close to getting a deal done. And then they got to get their shit together, right? If they're going to play NFL games, there can't be no fallout of the stream. That's going to be the end of the NFL on Netflix if that happens. But this is a show done by NFL Films. Jerry and company again, or NFL, but Jerry's going to get a lot of this. Going to get $50 million or under $50 million for this. And it focuses on it's 10 episodes on the Cowboys' glory days of the 90s. Now, here's why it's great. And I heard this, and I'm like, uh-oh. Cameras all around the fucking, the premises. They're going to be filming Dak, and they're going to be filming this guy and that guy. No, I don't want that shit. I don't need All or Nothing. I don't need Hard Knocks. I don't need that shit. But this is better. They'll be dealing with the front office people. They'll be dealing with old Cowboys, Emmett, Irvin, Aikman. They'll be dealing with all of that shit and not bothering any of our players, hopefully. I mean, I'm sure they'll interview a couple of them for little things here and there. What you think about the star, the legacy, the history. I'm sure they'll interview some of our Cowboy players doing that. But it's all about Jerry. Let it stay on Jerry. Let Jerry suck all the limelight away and let the Cowboys do their things behind the scenes. That's where I like this. It's not about this team right now. It's not about Jerry Jones with this team necessarily right now. It's about Jerry Jones as an owner, Hall of Famer, owner, breaking doors, kicking doors in when open when he was, just into the NFL and changing a lot of the way the NFL does things. This is what it's going to focus on in the glory days of the 90s. I'm happy with that. I'll be watching it. That's great. And it should not affect this year's team. That's my number one concern over any freaking docu-series, any history shit in the Cowboys. I can see that anywhere I want.
I have to admit,
this has to be good. Keep it away from our current players.
I was just about to say, this is the ideal way to kind of, make everybody happy, right? Jerry wants to promote the Cowboys. He wants to put them out there. He wants to obviously continue to have that type of media hype and attention that he so loves. But he also doesn't necessarily want to take the focus away from what the team is trying to do this year. So why not make the focus all about him? And honestly, in Jerry's mind, the Cowboys are nothing without him. So
yeah, fits perfectly.
It fits very well.
Yeah. One last thing I was going to say about this. If Jerry Jones got got $50 million for this and they wanted to do a right now filming of the Cowboys, guess what Jerry would do?
I mean, probably say yeah, right?
He would take it. So let's just be happy that they gave Jerry Jones an option that did not involve this year's team. Because if they did, he would have been like, let's do it. Thankfully, that was not presented. So I'm happy about that. I'm happy about that side of things.
My only question before we move on from this topic is, how involved is Jimmy Johnson going to be? In the sense that there's no way around it.
You got 90s Cowboys.
You have to talk about him. And in that vein, is he going to be interviewed? Is he going to want to talk about this again? Like, I think depending on how he's approached, I think he would be open to it.
Jerry Jones's. It's not going to be Jerry Jones's deal here. The NFL Films will 1,000%, they will go up to Jimmy Johnson and talk to him. Now, they got to ask Jerry Jones about it, and Jerry Jones give his usual answers about Jimmy. And let's just hope maybe that's when this thing airs, it sparks something out of him, and he's like, let's put him in let's put him in the Ring of Honor next year.
The reason I say it is just because Jimmy, at least in the last handful of years, has really kind of strayed away from commenting on it, where before I think he would have, he addressed it like even semi-directly. Now he's just kind of like, look, I'm fucking over that. So, I don't know. It's still his glory, though. So I get to see Jimmy saying
that's
no
the reason.
comment,
Jimmy will talk.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Jimmy will talk. He'll talk a lot, but he's he will. They've already said the story. They already know the story.
The only reason I say it is just because, remember, if it's really specifically focused on Jerry Jones, I feel like you have to mention the rift.
Yeah,
right?
They will. They have to bring it up, but it might be done by the narrator. Yeah. It might be done, by just to kind of fill people in with the narrator. But it's not going to be. I don't know if they're going to pry too much with Jimmy and Jerry about that rift. They're gonna probably visit it and move on from it. I mean, NFL Films, I guess, could do a whole 10 shows about it if they really wanted to. That ain't gonna happen. So I just think it's just they're gonna talk about we're not gonna find really much new in this. Let me just tell you that. I don't think
Jerry's just gonna buy Netflix, and we're just gonna have Jerry Vision instead. So let me see. Cactus G said Jimmy knows Jerry's an ass. So
and he's kind of said that already. So it's not like when Jimmy says something about Jerry, Jerry's going to accept it. It's going to be probably limited to what he's going to be able to say because I'm sure Jerry won't like it too much. But hey, he's getting $50 million. Shut the fuck up, Jerry.
Mm-hmm. So Mary Roberts, hello and hi, much love. I love Bean Dip. What's up? Let me see. Honestly, it's hard to say because at the end of the day, Tony Romo obviously didn't get a ring, but we love all our quarterbacks here.
I was going to say Michael Donna making a good point there, just to make sure. 3 Super Bowls by Jimmy Johnson. I think you can credit that to Jimmy, although we know Jimmy wasn't there. Barry Switzer was there for the last one, but that was on Jimmy Johnson's players. That was on Jimmy Johnson's coaches and scouts. It's a Jimmy Johnson half-won Super Bowl. Barry Switzer and Jerry Jones, they did just enough. Jerry brought in Deion Sanders, and Barry Switzer did enough to get us that Super Bowl with Jimmy Johnson's guys.
Oh, God. Hold on. Rodriguez cracked me up. He said, Jerry should never say there's not enough pie to pay their players if Jerry is getting just $50 million for a TV show.
I would agree, except it doesn't matter how much money Jerry has. Jerry would spend all his money on the players if there was no cap, but the cap makes it irrelevant. $50 million just goes to his yacht. It don't go to the players. He only can spend $230 million or $220 million on the actual players hitting the cap this year.
Yeah, part of the whole point of salary cap is so that the Jerry Joneses of the football world can't just come in and basically overpay and buy all the best talent, and then you end up with unfair and stacked teams.
But and you guys will see this. You guys will see this when they do the 90s glory days. You're going to say, well, there was no cap back then. And all the haters are going to say, see, you guys won without a cap. But, number one, nobody else had a cap either. They could have done this.
No cap?
No cap. And number two, remember, guys, look at our teams when we won the Super Bowls. Look where they came from. Did they come because we paid big money to all these free agents and we just bought our team? You all know the answer to that. I lived through it. No is the answer. We built our team from the draft. We built it with a trade with Herschel Walker and got fucking 16 picks and players. Go back and do your homework and you'll see we paid Charles Haley, which every team paid somebody in free agency. It wasn't like we paid crazy for him. And then a couple years later, we paid Deion Sanders. That's the money the Cowboys spent to win some Super Bowls. That's masterful. That's Jimmy Johnson.
I think Jerry's, 83, 84?
Something like that. He's in his 80s, early 80s. I'm not sure exactly. Maybe 80, 81 maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, so I know he's definitely for sure 80. So somewhere between 80 and 85, let's say. Just throwing that out there. But Daniel Barry, what's up? Hello and hi. Sorry, that cracked me up. Jamar, because Bean Dip asked, how old is he? Jamar said 300.
Like a vampire.
Oh, Cactus G also said, have you heard Dave Wanstead's interview where he discusses Jerry and Jimmy's relationship?
I have not. Dave Wanstead, offensive coordinator, right? Was he offensive or defense? Defensive coordinator. But I want to see. I would love to hear it. But there's a lot of other interviews we're listening to right now in for our Cowboys of this year. So
yeah, but Cactus, if you do get the chance,
send
drop
it to us
a link in a comment under any of our videos or something like that.
Yeah.
Just that way we can.
Or in Discord. That's another way, so we
Discord.
can catch it there. So either or, we'll catch it there. I would like to hear it. I would. So now let me get back on track, guys. We talked about Jerry and all the things Jerry does. He's getting paid once again from Netflix. He's Netflix and chill right now. Now let's talk about the NFL for a second. Since Jerry Jones is getting money from the NFL Films, and Netflix to get this thing produced. So the Buffalo Bills, their training staff, who saved the life of Damar Hamlin back in the beginning of the year and last season. The Bills training staff will receive the Pat Tillman Award for service during the 2023 ESPYs. Of course, we already know why, and they deserve it by far, right? Life-saving actions to Damar Hamlin would have been dead. He would not have made it if it was not for those guys on that field. So, fantastic. Thank goodness that they were there. Medical staff doing their thing.
That's the best way to go, especially considering just how... Again, it's like watching a lightning strike happen in the middle of the football field. That's more or less what it felt like, So... Huge shout out to the medical staff for doing what they did, and thank goodness that Damar Hamlin is here with us right now.
Yeah, the medical staff, doctors, thank goodness for them. Now, Super Bowl. Not that we liked it. The Chiefs were there. F them for the most part. I don't really have feelings about them. But the Eagles, F them to the ground. But the Eagles and the Chiefs were slipping and sliding on that football field for the Super Bowl. You guys remember that, right? The NFL privately blamed the teams, the Eagles and the Chiefs, the players, because of the slipping in the Super Bowl.
Are you kidding me?
The source told Mike Florio that the NFL communicated to the owners that the reason all the slipping happened is because the players were wearing the wrong cleats. And again, I dislike the Eagles more than any team in the league, but the Eagles players actually changed their cleats during the Super Bowl at halftime. So it just seems like an excuse by the NFL. If the Eagles even changed all their cleats and they still were slipping and sliding, they took the L, thank goodness.
We'll take every chance to shit talk the Eagles that we can, but even I have to admit, something about that feels a little hinky. And
it was both teams that slipped and fell. Remember, it was the Chiefs and the Eagles, so it wasn't like the Eagles were hurt more, but some people say that was their strength, was their speed, and that hurt them more than the Chiefs. But
again, I can maybe buy it that one team could have maybe effed up their cleats, but you're telling me both teams somehow messed them up, and the Eagles not only messed them up once, but twice. Like, I don't know. Something about that seems very weird, considering that type of stuff is handled, pretty well, like just on a regular week-to-week football basis, where the guys have the cleats that they want and stuff like that. So
it was
seems
weird.
Really weird that for the Super Bowl, someone was out here. This isn't Deflategate or something.
The Eagles.
Bullshit game.
The Eagles, Brandon Graham, the defensive edge rusher, he recently said that the Chiefs were, quote, blessed by the field conditions. Listen, all I got to say is the moral of the story. And listen close, everybody, especially Eagle fans. The moral of the story is simple. Fuck Philly. That's all. I'm done. That's all. Who gives a shit? It's Philadelphia. Fuck
the moral of the tortoise and the hare?
Yes.
Fuck Philly.
Everything, if you didn't know by now, guys, pardon our French, but dilly, fuck Philly. Anyways, 5 is greater than 1. Remind every Eagle fan that fact. That's a fact you can't miss. And again, they've been around a lot longer than us, those Eagles. Anyways. The cleat bowl.
Oh, Mike, that's a good one.
So, as we keep rolling here, free agency. Now, I don't really, we talked about Zeke yesterday. I told you guys, Cowboys, Jane Slater said the Cowboys aren't interested in him.
That door's closed.
Unless someone gets injured or something happens. But it sounds like Cowboys are not truly they're not going to even give him $2 million. So Zeke seems out of the fold in Dallas, at least for this year. What about a kicker? Now, we talked about Luis Aguilar from the USFL Philadelphia Stars. By the way, Philadelphia, we hate Philly, like the Eagles, but there's a shooting today, condolences and, once again, thoughts sent out that way, but it's a lot of mass shootings, man. I can't even say anything anymore about this because it's almost every week, definitely almost sometimes every day. So it just sucks. Anyways, but Mason Crosby, I went from Philly and trying to go to as Philadelphia Stars, as in Luis Aguilar, kicker. Now we discussed him a little bit yesterday in detail, and that he's probably the best kicker in the USFL. Does that mean anything? He's probably better than Tristan Vizcaino, but is that confidence building in itself? So who knows? But
how high is that bar to cross?
Now we know Robbie Gould is out there, and we know what's his name from usually with the Broncos, and Matt Prater, and so many other names out there kicker wise are floating around. So is Mason Crosby. He's a guy that I've always kept an eye on, and again, his connection with Mike McCarthy always makes him part of the possible mix for the Cowboys at kicker. Mason Crosby today basically said, I am preparing for my 17th season, even though he is, of course, unsigned. Still, he's a free agent. Mason Crosby is one of several veteran kickers right now available in free agency. He's going through his regular workouts, even though he's currently not with a team. Probably the latest in his career, he's never been with a team. And he expects to be playing in his 17th season in the NFL. His time in Green Bay is probably over. They did not re-sign him well. The Packers drafted Auburn kicker this year in the 6th round, Anders Carlson. But Crosby said he's not ruling anything out. He said never count anything out in this game. Again, I agree, because a guy out of college, a kicker, you never know. They got the yips. They could never really get going. And then what happens, right? Then they'll go back to their trusty Crosby. He's waiting for it. Just maybe Green Bay calls him back. It could be injuries occurring as well. Of course, we got kicking, we got practice, we got all that stuff preseason. So you never know what could happen. But Crosby, again, going to the Packers side of things, he's their all-time leading scorer in their history. All-time leading scorer in their history, and that's a 100-year history right there with Green Bay. Crosby's the all-time leading scorer for the Packers. Last year, he made 25 of 29 field goals. So he missed 4 last year.
Okay.
A 9th season, though, of at least an 80% success rate And his career percentage is not fantastic, but it's solid, consistent, 81.4% making field goals. Of course, we know that our Dallas Cowboys, one of the few teams still in search for a kicker. There's more teams in search for a kicker, that of journeyman NFL kickers out there than there are kickers, I think. And I'm talking about good quality kickers.
Yeah, you don't have to get ready if you stay ready, which is obviously Mason Crosby's mindset there. But I have to admit, I do think I prefer, like, it was between, for example, him and Gold. Mm-hmm. As far as the two top contenders for free agents, I would go Gold. Sorry.
I've heard Gold is had some issues as he's getting older. Again, there's a reason why he's not signed yet. Now, Mason Crosby, because 17 years in the league, there's a reason why he's not signed. It's probably both similar things, and also probably asking price, veteran minimums, that kind of stuff. It's just for a kicker, some teams don't even want to bother. They just roll the dice with the young guy who can make just as many. So that's the thought process, I think, by most NFL teams.
Aguilar and one of these two guys is comparable, I can also see why the Cowboys would rather try to invest in maybe the younger guy, because whether we go for Crosby or Gold, it's a 1-year deal. I can't see it being more than that, even if we sign him for a 2-year deal or something.
Yeah, and you got to figure the deal's gonna be probably extremely cheap from the Cowboys side. So they could easily sign a young guy instead of a Crosby or a Gold. But again, the one thing I'm going to keep out there for everyone to remember, not to really about Robbie Gold, Mason Crosby, I think if you had to pick a veteran guy, Crosby is much more reliable. Why? McCarthy. I mean, through his whole career, he was under McCarthy, right? So until McCarthy left. So to me, McCarthy and the connection with Crosby is something that could be kind of the tiebreaker, let's say.
Maybe it's the other way around, though. Maybe
it could be.
McCarthy knows Crosby, he might be blinded to who Crosby was before in the past and kind of keep too much of that memory as opposed to what he actually is right here and now.
Well, again, but that's what you're saying. That's what I'm trying to say, is that I think that
I'm just saying, it could be a positive, it could maybe be a negative.
Right, but again, what has he done lately? I just said, missed 4 field goals last year. That's not bad at all. And again, in terms of more context, in that you guys ask, I don't know if you guys asked what was Mason Crosby's long? I don't know. But Luis Aguilar in the USFL with the Philadelphia Stars was 56 yards.
Lost in translation, what's up?
What's up, man? And again, and you look at like Aguilar's year last year, I think he only missed 4 field goals as well. But everything from 0 to 40 yards was 100% hitting him. And the ones he missed, I think there were 2 of them from inside the 45-yard line. They were both blocked, and he missed the other 2 from outside the 50, but he did make a 56-yarder. So look, Luis Aguilar in the USFL, I always have to say that because that to me makes a big difference. Why is he in the NFL already, right? So, well, I'd be happy. Tristan Vizcaino is going to probably be here in the battle, but I would be happy if we got Luis Aguilar and get in there a Mason Crosby or Robbie Gold. Get those 3 guys fighting it out. One of the big name free agent guys out there at the kicker spot. Bring in, that's a solid guy, right? Let's look at he does. There's a lot of them out there. You can't say you can't find one. We got Tristan Vizcaino, which is like the baseline crap, and then you got the wild card young guy from the USFL. So why not throw all 3 guys and let them kick their asses fall off? That's what I'm looking for, and then let the best guy win. The fuck, that's it. How difficult is this? Just don't guarantee any of their fucking contracts. Trust me, they're not going to. And then you just look. You cut the other 2. It's simple. It's like 1 + 1 = 2. I don't know what's wrong with this situation, but hey, what's your thoughts out there on this kicker? I know you said yours, baby. What's the chat's thoughts more or less on kicker, Mason Crosby, etc.
Out there, more competition, the better.
Exactly.
At all, regardless of what direction the Cowboys are feeling like they
give me a veteran.
Bring in not just one veteran. Bring in 3 veterans.
Well, again, I know, but bring in a veteran. Bring in a Luis Aguilar with the upside trajectory. Who knows? And you got Vizcaino, which should be the first guy cut, really. But anyways, the point is, yes, more competition, the better. The better. Obvious.
So, Mike Aldana said Vizcaino is just sitting pretty with no competition. So
yeah, we know it's going to change.
He's not stupid either, though, because Steven straight up made comments like right next to him, basically. The equivalent of right next to him when it comes to the media day, just because they were asking him, like, how do you feel about the current kicking situation? Do you like Vizcaino when he was out there? And he actually had a really good day that day in minicamp.
He didn't miss anything that day.
Damn. Steven straight up said, he's like, oh, yeah, no, he's just a placeholder. We're just waiting. So
we know the
cool,
Cowboys
cool.
are definitely bringing somebody else in.
He basically straight up said, we're waiting to find his replacement.
Yeah. We're going to give him some challenges is basically what's going to happen. And they're just going to keep him there as the one kicker kicking the ball in practice for now. But we'll have competition with another kicker or 2 in training camp. Guarantee it. Guarantee it.
Oh, no, that was it, baby.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, we're good in the chat then?
Let me see. Yeah, all the other points. Lost in Translation did say we could use some more mercenaries. So, Q Ball in the house, much love. There we go. Cactus G said, I don't believe Crosby or Gold would come in for tryouts. They're two seniors.
I wouldn't say tryouts. I'd say you have to, yeah, exactly. You have to pay those young guys. So, I mean, the veterans you'd have to pay, like now, you'd have to like bring them in on a non-guaranteed contract and hope that, you can, get them to stick here. If they stay on, they get the contract, the whole full thing. If they don't, you cut them. Yeah, they get $500,000, whatever it is, and it won't even touch our cap. That's fine. I mean, it's dead money already. I'm good with that. Rolling the dice on a kicker, on a couple of kickers.
No cap.
But that's what I'm saying, though. When you look at, if you look at Luis Aguilar, unless there's 8 other teams going after him, which probably not, I would say he's a guy you can probably give a tryout. Not even a tryout, but you can just sign him for cheap. And really no guarantee at all, very little guarantee. So it's a win-win. Bringing more guys in, minimal guarantees for these guys. Not tryouts, bring them in, sign them, and see where they go in camp. I expect at least one guy to be signed, maybe 2. We'll see what happens. But you can guarantee the USFL, Luis Aguilar is the guy I think the Cowboys have been focusing on for months. I've been saying this, and now we heard inside discussions there from the Cowboys front office. Aguilar is their kind of main guy they're looking at now that USFL officially ended, their season officially ended a couple days ago. So just wanted to say that. Any last things, baby, or we're going to move on?
No, let's keep it rolling.
No. All right, so we're going to keep looking here, and we got a dynamic duo. Cowboys here, guys. And it was, again, this was released, I think, last week as far as the best duos on each NFL team. And, heading into the season. So, according to CBS Sports, which kind of put this out, they basically kind of say, look, they did this kind of, it's not anything necessarily built on statistics or analytics or whatever it may be, but basically they're saying the best duos in the league don't have to play the same position, but they usually are on the same side of the ball. So if you're offensive duo, probably going to be, quarterback and a receiver, something like this. On defense, it's going to be 2 guys on that side of the ball when you got a duo there. The best duos in the league don't have to, again, probably be on the one side of the field over the other. So the way they did this, so what qualifies a duo for each team? And the qualifications were they have to play on the same side of the ball. They have to contribute to the team's offensive or defensive success. They can be from the same position, but it's not a prerequisite. They don't have to be from the exact same position. Can the 2 best players on that, I'm sorry, again, maybe both of the best players on the team are also on that offensive side or defensive side of the ball. And they don't have to play an official game together. So rookies and free agents are included in this mix, even like Brandon Cooks, for example, right? So when they looked at this, they every team they named their dynamic duo, and of course they named ours. Do you know who they are, baby? It's on the front cover. It's on our thumbnail. It's pretty simple, guys. It is Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs. Boom, boom. So
you mean it's not Vaughn and Hurts?
No, it's not Deuce Vaughn.
Sorry, I had to make that joke. I'm sorry.
So the best duo in the NFL by the as far as not the NFL, the best duo on the Cowboys team is Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs, linebacker / edge and a cornerback. So again, no complaining for me on that one, guys. I mean, you know how I feel about Trayvon Diggs, and you know how I feel about Micah Parsons. You see him here dominating. But the thing that made this even better, baby, is that they said that Trayvon Diggs and Micah Parsons are the best duo in the entire NFL. Not just on the Cowboys team, but yet we are the best. They are the best duo on their team, but that's the best duo in the league. The pressure of Micah and the coverage of Trayvon Diggs. So whether you agree or disagree, guys, that's what they're saying. NFL's best duo across every team. They took those 32 duos and they put them up against each other, and these 2 guys won according to CBS Sports. Now, let's go through kind of what they said and some points I'm throwing in there about these 2 guys that make them, this is why they are a dynamic duo or the best in the NFL. The 2 best players in the Cowboy defense are the biggest playmakers statistically on the defense. So Micah Parsons, let's start with him. He led the NFL with 90 quarterback pressures just last season. He pressured opposing quarterbacks 19.3% of his pass rushes, which led the NFL as well. So he's obviously, you can see him here. This is all last year. domination from Micah Parsons. We all know what he does. Micah Parsons also joined Aldon Smith and Reggie White as the only 3 players with 13-plus sacks in their first 2 years in the NFL. And, sacks became an official stat in 82, so we don't know what happened before that, but not Lawrence Taylor, not somebody, not Derek Brooks, not somebody. We're talking about, of course, Aldon Smith. We know he was in that group, and the great Reggie White. So Micah's in that group of guys, 13-plus sacks in the first 2 years. Bottom line is Micah Parsons, obviously one of the best, if not the best, pass rusher in the game of football. And then you look at some things from Micah's kind of, again, some of the things you hang your hat on. He has 26.5 sacks in his first 33 games of his career. He has 106 solo tackles in 2 years, 43 assists, and 6 forced fumbles. He's forced 6 fumbles in 2 years, 3 fumble recoveries, 1 for a touchdown. Again, all of this is in a 2-year span for Micah Parsons in his career. So just unfucking believable domination by Micah Parsons. Anyway, we all Cowboy fans, we know this already. Now, what about Trayvon Diggs? A lot of people are iffy on him, but I still think he's a top 10 cornerback in the league at the very least.
He definitely had a rough year this past year, though. Let's be honest. I can understand why some people have a few more reservations, but I truly see it for exactly that. Like, I think it was a bit of an off year. I think you're going to see him look much better this upcoming season for a variety of reasons.
Pass rush is better, and we got Stephon Gilmore on the other side. Yeah, but pass rush is even getting better. Stopping the run is getting better. So when they throw, they got to worry about Gilmore and Trayvon Diggs now, and Deron Bland / Jordan Lewis. Well, we're causing a lot of problems. And so I did want to say this though about Trayvon Diggs. The thing that people look down on him, because he didn't have a horrible year last year. It just wasn't 11 interceptions.
Yeah.
But the down thing was that San Francisco game. There was a play there, he just whiffed on Kittle. He could have jarred the ball loose. That was disappointing. And, of course, in the end zone, the great defensive play, they threw the ball up in the air. It was right there in his hands. He dropped the interception. Yeah, that killed us twice, but there was a lot of things that killed us. The 49ers was probably, maybe not necessarily his worst mistake, but definitely his loudest. So it ends up being his worst. Yeah, and it's also hard to think of a worse mistake just because of the weight of that game. Yeah, it rises right to the top of, holy shit, that's the worst thing he's done in his career so far. And again, I think that, and I know what you mean. That just the other thing is this: if he had another game after that, we might not think of it as much. But that was the ending of our season, so he was part of that. The fact that it was the magnitude playoff game, the weight of that, it's the same reason that that interception by Dak, like the fact that he got picked off, like that hurts twice in that game. It's not all on him, but it's on him as well. So that's the thing. There's a lot of people to blame in this thing. Kellen Moore, Dak, Gallup, the route run, by a lot of these receivers, the game plan, Kellen Moore, I'm sorry, and dropped chances like a pick by Diggs, a big third down play, whatever. Kittle was bobbling the ball and he just didn't hit him. I don't know if he thought he was going to get a penalty, but no matter what, it hurts that he had a bad last game. But that doesn't mean he's a bad player. In fact, CBS Sports saying he's a playmaker for the Cowboys, and I agree. So Trayvon Diggs has 17 interceptions in the first 3 years of his career. That's the 4th most by any player in the NFL since 2000. That's not just lucky. That's good. And this year should be even better. I believe he's going to have maybe his best year, maybe not 11 interceptions, but he's going to have 8, 9 interceptions, I think, this year. They're going to have to go his way when Gilmore's on the other side. So, again, you got to remember, it's not just about coverage or interceptions or the stats and the flash. It's also about his missed tackle percentage. 3.4% of the time he missed tackles, which was 5th among all cornerbacks in the NFL. So, ouch. A great tackler. Ouch. That's a good thing, baby. I don't know what you mean. He was 5th among cornerbacks. He didn't miss tackles too often. Only 3% of the time he missed a tackle. And, again, opposing quarterbacks, when they attacked Trayvon Diggs, had a 71.7 passer rating against him last year. He allowed that was last year. He allowed 5 touchdowns and he got 3 interceptions. So, again, maybe it could be better, but that's pretty damn good too. When the quarterback throws in your area and it's 71 passer rating, that goes up to 165 or whatever. That's pretty fucking good. It's also, again, because he had such great years previously to that. The one great year. His rookie year was right? But his second year was fantastic. Last year, expectations were very high. I agree. Is my point. But I knew this was going to happen. I knew that people were going to be like, "Let's see him get 13." And people don't know football. Jar Jar Binks is people don't know football. Saying, Trayvon Diggs can't tackle. I hear you. He whiffed on that Kittle, but I'm telling you, 3.4%. is fifth among quarterbacks. I'm assuming that's a good thing. I'm not sure. Is that good or bad? I mean, 3% missed tackles, not that bad.
That's why I said kind of ouch at first. I think I misunderstood what you were saying and took it the opposite way.
Well, I don't know. Either way, I mean, I do believe that is a good thing. He's a top 5 tackler as far as, not, I don't say tackler, but missing tackles. And however they rate that, they rate that. I mean, we can complain about it and this and that. I'm saying this is analytics, I guess, they're using here from next-gen stats. But 3.4 missed tackle percentage was 5th best, in the NFL. And opposing quarterbacks a 71 rating against him. That's a big pool. It's not like 10 passes against him. It's like 200 passes against him. That's pretty damn good, a 71.7 passer rating. The thing is, the 5 touchdowns allowed was I don't like that side of things. But he, in these situations, I mean, he did, have 3 interceptions. And again, you got to remember, Trayvon Diggs has more interception in his first 35 career games than any other player in NFL history. History, I'm talking about here. Again, it's not just lucky. He's also good. So, again, you got to remember this. He's the fastest player over the last 40 years to get 17 interceptions. He has a nose for the ball. He's big, and he's physical. My thing is this. When they didn't have to go after him last year too much. So his stats were always going to be a little lower. Interceptions, all that stuff. But you have Anthony Brown on the other side. You have Kelvin Joseph on the other side. I mean, why throw to Diggs if you're in that situation, right? And they didn't throw to Diggs' side too often. What happens when Gilmore's on the other side? When Stephon Gilmore's on the other side, Trayvon Diggs is going to be the guy they're going to have to attack him. And he's big, physical. He's going to be able to slow guys in their route. We're going to play better press now. And with that pass rush coming, with Micah leading the way and everybody else stopping the run, with Mike, we've talked about Mozzie and Hankins stopping the run. With all that stuff happening, it's just going to make Trayvon Diggs better this year. That's my belief. I hope that happens. But I see that happening. And you look at the Cowboy defense, we have a top 10 defense in points allowed per game the last 2 years. Parsons and Diggs, guys, are the 2 young leaders of this defense, playmakers. And again, not me saying it. CBS Sports is saying this is our best. This is the best duo, offensively or defensively, in the NFL. So it's pretty impressive. Even just to be, again, whether they're the best or not, it's one thing. Just to be mentioned, and I agree. I mean, we do have a top duo in the NFL on defense. Aztec in the house, all the way from Australia. Woo. Aussie kicking it off here from the Australian side of things. And he jumps into actually second place when you do the calculations of the Australian dollar. So he's in second place. What did Aztec have to say?
He said, number 32, thumbs up, go Cowboys, and MCW. So thank you, Aztec. I appreciate you. Much love.
I'm going to add him to the board here, baby.
Not really sure. Is 32 a player? Off the top of my head, I don't think I know a 32.
I don't know about a 32 on our Cowboy team.
There you go. Aztec, either way. Shout out to you.
Let us know what you think on that. I'm curious. And
but if you want to let us know, a little bit more on what you meant to say there, I guess.
He's in second place on the board. Hit up the chat, baby, while I get the board updated.
So, let me see. Mike Aldana said Diggs needs to manufacture turnovers now with
Gilmore on the other side. With Stephon Gilmore on the other side. And I think that,
32 likes. Gotcha, Aztec. No, just making sure, because he was a
32nd like. Thank you. Well, thank you there, Aztec. Appreciate you. All the way from the other side of the rock here in Australia. Much love. Go Cowboys. You know it. So, again, I just wanted to say the comment. What was the last comment you said?
About Diggs needing to manufacture turnovers.
Mike, that's the thing though. I think with Stephon Gilmore, they're going to have to throw more to Diggs and have to throw more to Deron Bland. Let them try them. I think we can play different kind of defense now. If you have Anthony Brown, you can't really play press as much with Trayvon Diggs because guess who they're not going to throw to? Trayvon Diggs' side. So he's not going to get those numbers, man. He's not going to get those interceptions manufactured last year as much, but when you have Stephon Gilmore on the other side and he's stuck like flies on shit onto his receiver, you can do that with Trayvon Diggs on the other side, and the pass rush in concert with them, it's going to spell trouble for all opposing offensive quarterbacks, offensive schemes and offenses in the NFL. That's why I'm loving what we're going to see here with this dynamic duo here, the best one in the NFL according to CBS Sports in 2023. I can't wait.
So let me see. Rolling back a little bit here. Cactus G said there's a difference between hitting a 200-pound receiver behind the line before he gets started and hitting a runaway train weighing 260 pounds holding a football.
And in reference to...
I'm guessing the Trayvon situation?
Yeah, I mean, I think... Yeah, let me see here.
Right?
Yeah,
Because we're talking about his tackling and other things like that.
Well, I think he's talking about, like, is he talking about the Kittle situation? Because, I mean, Kittle was just falling. I think he didn't want to get a penalty on him. But, I mean, most of the tackles you're seeing about Trayvon Diggs is after they catch the ball on him, he pulls him right down to the ground. Not a lot of yards after the catch with Trayvon Diggs.
So, let me see. Cactus, you said Diggs was hardly ever thrown at. Quarterbacks just avoid him.
That's my point. When you don't have much opportunities, you're not going to get many stats. And that's why I knew his stats were going to drop this year. Easy target is to attack Anthony Brown. But now there's no Anthony Brown. Now it's just a Stephon Gilmore over there. Oh, please attack Stephon Gilmore. He'll get picks. No. And you're forced to throw to Trayvon Diggs. Watch the picks. Watch Trayvon have more picks this year and last year. And, see how much another solid or top cornerback on the other side of Trayvon Diggs, how good you're going to see Trayvon Diggs this season. I think, I'm excited to see what this defense is going to do all across the board. Front, in the trenches with the defensive line, stopping the run with Mozzie and Hankins. The linebackers now more ability to stop the run with those guys. And even with that new rule, right, we talked about it on our drinking night when no more kind of, RPOs anymore with that front handoffs. That's going to make it easy for our defense. We don't have to worry about going and attacking those holes. It's going to probably be a pass because they won't be able to hand it off forward. So it's going to help our defense. We're helped already with the players. We're helped another year with these players in our scheme. We're helped with great talent to rotate in there through Dan Quinn. The versatility of these players put through positions, whether it's like the three safeties we play a lot of the time, or dropping down Mukwamu in the mix. There's so many things we can do in here with the linebackers, the rotation at the edge. So when you add it all together and then you do all these things and you throw in there a Stephon Gilmore, that's game changing to me. The way that Brandon Cooks is game changing on the offensive side of things. So we'll see what happens. There's still a ways to go. So
no, I agree. So let me see here. I'm just making sure. I think we hit up most of the comments. By the way, before we move on to the next thing, reminding everyone, take a second, hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You guys can follow us anywhere and everywhere at MyCowboysFamily, and hop in the Discord. Link for that's in the description box down below. Extra special shout out to Jason Renfro, the man representing on all sides of the board here. Cash App, Stream Boss, overall. We got you. Thank
Sponsor
you,
of the week. Much love to Jason Renfro. 66 points still for him there. 6 years here. And he's on that board above us as well, tied for third with Brandon James Shea in third place, Aztec in second, and Dwayne Broussard, believe it or not, with the lead right now with his thanks for one of our early videos. Again, all these things will be added up. All these amounts will be added up to last week's numbers, and you guys will continue to build or add or gain a raffle entry. As you can see at the bottom right there, we have our 6-year anniversary. It was just passed. And we're going to do this raffle live on stream on Sunday night, July 9th. So you got a chance still to get in that raffle. I think Aztec's like 2 or 4 away from getting in. So I don't want anybody missing their chances if they are interested in maybe getting lucky and winning a jersey sewn and stitched of your choice. And, of course, second place would be a shirt of the Dallas Cowboys there brought to you by Skeptical Fans. So thank you all for being part of this thing, involving it in it. Again, I'll be adding these numbers up and adding your raffle entries by Saturday night / Sunday for the raffle next week. I mean, and at the end of this week. So, any last comments? Maybe I'm going to the last topic here in a minute.
No, let me see here. Cactus G said, I was talking about Diggs making the big hit to stop them in the Cincinnati game, and his failure to hit the big tight end from San Francisco.
I see. So, yeah, I remember that Cincinnati game. What a great tackle. He saved the game for us. He gave us the ball back to win. Trayvon Diggs. So that's the one where it's like, you can see his tackling is fantastic. But the Kittle's miss there, the whiff, I don't think he was scared. Some people say he was scared. He's not really hitting or tackling. What's wrong with him? I think, personally, it was more he didn't want to get called for a penalty. I know it sounds crazy, but the way the NFL has been, he would have to hit a defenseless receiver. And that's what I saw that immediately, and everyone's like, oh, what a bitch, what happened to him? But I can see kind of why he pulled up. He didn't want to get called for hitting a defenseless receiver. He get 15 yards and knock the ball out. It's a first down.
Was, remember, you have to see it from his point of view and like what he thought he was seeing at that moment. Yeah. So he was just trying to do the right thing, right? So it cracks me up. Always the big moments for us, bro. Yeah. It always does. Cactus D's like he made a business decision.
See, and that's what I'm trying to say. I don't think he did a business decision there. I think he was trying to not get he didn't want to get flagged 15 yards, and he was I think maybe he was hoping that maybe Kittle would drop the tipped pass there. Kittle did not, and it killed us on that drive. But sometimes you got to go for that hit, right? So I don't think it was a business decision. I think it was a penalty decision. So.
So, let me see. Retro Scotty throwing out there. I think Diggs has no problem with tackling receivers. But big tight ends might be a different story.
Well, again, that goes for basically every player. But I do think that Diggs is a solid tackler as a cornerback, one of the top 5 cornerbacks in tackling. And who is he usually tackling? He's usually tackling receivers more than tight ends. So, I think we're okay with Trayvon Diggs, even with the little bit of flack he's getting. So, let's go to the last topic before we clonk out of here. So, and this is gonna be an interesting one. I think you guys maybe don't even know what's coming, and maybe you're wondering, baby, why did I write this into our topic here? We talked about Netflix and Jerry Jones and Chill there. We talked about 7-Eleven over here, Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs dynamic duo. What about the duo in the middle of the screen with the big question mark? What could this have in common? What could Deuce Vaughn, rookie running back, 5'5", 176 pounds, what does he have to do with Jalen Hurts, who is, by the way, 6'1" and 223 pounds. I mean, he's basically 50 pounds heavier and like 8 inches taller than Deuce Vaughn. So obviously, right off the bat, that's the biggest difference. I'm going to tell you that right off the bat. That right there is going to kind of, it's going to tell you the difference and maybe why this won't work. But let's talk about why it could work. And I'm just saying this way. I'm not trying to like spark up new conversation. It just kind of hit me. This is a MCF thing that and I want to know what you think. I want to know what everybody thinks, but. Basically, here's what it comes down to, guys. You look at the numbers on quarterback sneaks or runs, red zone situation, not even goal line. I'm talking red zone, inside the 20. Last year, Jalen Hurts from the Eagles had 43 carries inside the 20-yard line, inside the red zone. Do you know that that's the most ever by a quarterback in any season? So red zone running, 20 yards or closer to the end zone. Jalen Hurts had 43 carries in that red zone. He had listen to this though. He had 760 rushing yards and 13 touchdowns on the ground last year. Now, that to me sounds like a running back. He's like a part-time running back that can throw really well. So here's the thing. When you constantly are ahead of the chains, all right? Like the Cowboys were not too much last year. We were always behind the chains. 3rd and 12, and 3rd and 8, and 2nd and 9. That's behind the chains. When you're playing from behind the chains, you got to throw the ball more often. But the Eagles' game plan was just, obviously, as everybody should be, stay ahead of the chains. Don't get behind the chains. So when the Eagles, in their offensive scheme, they were constantly ahead of the chains, pretty much a very high percentage for the entire season. When you're doing that, guys, you're hardly ever put into must-pass situations. So you don't have as much, 3rd and 18, we're going to throw unless we're going to run and punt. So now that you see that, guys, when you have that situation, a makeable 3rd down and short or 3rd down and attainable, you have an offensive line. The Eagles have one. All 5 guys made the Pro Bowl in some shape, form, or fashion. We have a pretty good one when we're all healthy as well. You can maul defenders, and you can do whatever you want when you have a team that's consistently in front of the chains. Now, or not behind the chains. Let me put it that way. But again, running the ball. Let me make this clear to everybody. When you run the ball with a quarterback, the numbers have proven this. The analytics have proven this. When you run the ball with a quarterback, in this case, we'll talk about Jalen Hurts. When you run the ball with a quarterback in the red zone, it is statistically the safest play you can do when you're in the red zone. Statistically, the safest play when you're in the red zone is to have the quarterback run with the ball. Of course, he's got to be a decent runner. He can't fumble the ball.
Yeah, there's other factors, but like you said, that when it comes down to the brass tacks, that is the safest play, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a quarterback that knows how to carry the ball, you don't want to run. You don't want to have like Troy Aikman running the ball. Like he'll fumble and he'll get destroyed and he'll get hurt. But
would you say Dak Prescott knows his way around a football?
He does, but I would not put him as a rushing quarterback like
Okay.
that. I would not run him like that. No way, no way, no way. Jalen Hurts is made for this a little bit better. The idea for the Eagles to beat them, you got to keep them behind the chains. You keep them behind the chains, you got to force Jalen Hurts to throw. Those running plays and that red zone stuff slows down. But here's what I'm trying to say. Okay, we don't have Jalen Hurts. Again, Jalen Hurts is 6'1", 223. But now let's talk about the guy that I want to put into this position. Just roll with me here, guys, for a minute, and tell me what you think. It's a quick one. This is the end of the show, so getting your last thoughts now. But let me kind of clear what I want to say here. When you have someone like this guy, Deuce Vaughn, all right, he's 5'5", 176. Obviously, difference in height and all that stuff. But I pulled up some stuff here from his college days. Not just this video, which you guys already have seen. You guys haven't seen it yet. Check it out. It's all his touchdowns from K-State, from Kansas State University. But listen to this, baby. This is what I found about Deuce Vaughn and the red zone when he was in college. All right? He literally said he has learned to run, and he changed his running style in the red zone on purpose to learn how to do it better. And it's not about getting those 1-yard dives in there, those plunges. It's not about that. But it's about his size being an advantage in the red zone. So a lot of his, again, the thing.
Makes him hard to grab.
I mean, guys, it's hard to spot. And every little yard you miss in the red zone and seeing where the guy is, he squirts out and gets 4 or 5 yards.
Second misjudgment or, oh, wait, did I really see that?
Can cost you.
That's it.
It costs you. And that's the thing, guys. His size is the advantage. He's a powerful player. I don't care how small he is. He's powerful. He's got strength in him, even if he's tiny, right? He's still got strength. He finds a way to get tough yards. I'm not saying he's going to be used as a bulldozer running back, but he just hides behind the offensive lineman. He could squirt in there for a couple yards here and there, guys, and it's been seen on tape. This is not like I'm just talking shit. This is actual fact that we've seen it happen. Now, in the NFL, we haven't seen it happen yet, but if there's ways you can devise plays that fit, and he can hide behind those offensive linemen, he squirts out, he's gone. And red zone, it's even more dangerous if you don't track him from the snap. So, again, a lot of people see him, guys, and he's going to probably throw the ball this down when they see Deuce Vaughn in the game, and they're in the red zone. People also see that he could be an every down back, but that's a whole different story. The key here is, guys, that Deuce Vaughn, when he's in the red zone inside the 20, and he's getting the ball, whether I'm talking about running, but let's say even catching the ball, which is my preference here, the Cowboys have used him a lot this offseason in the OTAs and mandatory minicamp. They've used them almost primarily with the first string guys in the red zone. This is why I'm breaking this down for facts here, guys, because this is what we may see in training camp, in preseason, and maybe into the regular season. Deuce Vaughn in the red zone. Look at him here. Boom. Get him in space. That's all you need. And look, I'm trying to say, that, again, a lot of facts about this is that he's very shifty and elusive. And when you have that in a small area, in the red zone area, and you need every way you can find a yard and get some space. He makes space, not necessarily through power, although he is more powerful than you may think. But he makes space. He gets separation in the passing game. So his shiftiness and elusiveness is major to being successful for him in the red zone. He gets away from pretty much anybody. Now NFL will be different. Don't get me wrong here, but when you see him run the ball behind the big offensive lineman, you see the defensive players losing track of him. And sometimes, when you have more space on a field, you have different angles you can take. When everyone's shoved up on that 10-yard line or the 12-yard line, trust me, you don't see Deuce Vaughn as easily. That's one of the keys to using Deuce Vaughn in the red zone. So, again, as I say this, guys, whenever he touches the ball, he has that wow factor. You can see him here in college doing it. And, again, there's even when there's a guy right in the hole, this has been seen when he's running the ball, and this is the red zone or anywhere, where there's a guy ready to stop him, somehow he makes him miss in a very small space in the red zone and scores touchdowns. He's shown this in K-State. He has 42 in his career, right? But how many have been in the red zone? At least half of these have been. So, again, he's kind of, the shiftiness gives him the huge advantage in the short spaces of the red zone. And he's learned, again, I want to reiterate this. Deuce Vaughn has said he's learned to run with a completely different style in the red zone than he does in the open field outside of the red zone. He learned, he has a different running style, a different running process when he's in the middle of the field, let's say, than when he's in the red zone. So, again, guys, This approach paid out dividends in college here, as you can see some of his plays here. But gaining yards between the tackles, like a power runner, is another thing he's kind of focused on. He just wants to squirt through, get forward, and get a couple of yards. That's what he did, in the red zone or in those inside the tackle runs. He said, quote, "I take big pride in that. Whenever they call my number inside the 5-yard line, you see a little guy in the backfield and you think they're probably going to throw the ball. Then they hand it off and I break an arm tackle and split 2 guys and get into the end zone. Sometimes I take myself by surprise, but when I get through, it's a pretty cool thing." And the main thing here is to remember, guys, is that you lose Deuce Vaughn in the trees with the offensive lineman. You just never really see him until it's too late. And when you see him, he's already beating you. When you get everybody shoved down there in the red zone, it is even harder to see. I hope Brian Schottenheimer, guys, uses him in a smart way in the red zone. I'm not saying he's going to be able to be a dominant red zone piece, but why not? Again, you think about, and I'm comparing him to Jalen Hurts. Why not see a Jalen, like if you see Jalen Hurts following his offensive lineman, he's a smaller, again, he's not really a small guy, but he's a quarterback, even though he's kind of got a running back body. And, when you see Deuce Vaughn, smaller guy, maybe harder to spot and track and all that stuff, but he's still following guys to the end zone. He's got power. He's not a quarterback, which is fine, right? And we're not risking a quarterback injury here. I'm not saying you want to power back him into the end zone, but I think he can slip and slide his way into the end zone from inside the 20, from the red zone and to the goal line. I think you can see him used a lot of different ways. Similarly to, you see, similar, not exactly the same, obviously, but similar to a Jalen Hurts style kind of situation. So if Schottenheimer can have a plan, right, for Deuce Vaughn, incorporating him into the offense, I think that's the way the Cowboys are going. They showed this already in mandatory minicamp. But the point is, guys, not just the short yardage in between the tackles, not just the red zone, goal line stuff. I'm talking about the big thing to me is catching the ball out of the backfield, which will put you in the red zone on a regular basis. So when he's not in the red zone, you still get the ball to him as a scat back, third down, Darren Sproles type. He breaks out of there, he gets you, boom, right in the red zone, and of course sometimes in the end zone. But inside the red zone, that could be a key piece, I think, catching the ball. And I do think sometimes even running the ball makes it hard to see him, and we'll see how that plays out. I believe we're going to see a lot of this in training camp and in preseason. And then we can talk about this later, about maybe we can use Deuce Vaughn in a more expanded role, because I believe maybe this is one of the reasons why the Cowboys are not interested in bringing in Ezekiel Elliott, because they see Deuce Vaughn and Ronald Jones, some of these other guys, to be utilized in ways, including Tony Pollard,
there has
on
to
the
be
goal
a
line or
reason
short
that
yardage.
Something seemed to have changed where Jerry was at least open to the idea of maybe bringing Zeke back, whereas now, just a few short weeks later, it's like not only has the door been shut, but they threw the key behind them, and that's it. They're not looking back. So obviously they seem to, that does lead me to believe that, you might have a point there, and that the Cowboys are happy with the guys they had. They're just trying to figure out, what exactly, which way they should arrange them and in what order, you could say.
Well, I want to know what you. I don't know if you have any more to add to this, but
I have lots of jokes from the chat.
Let's hear it.
Kevin Bilbo said, "Size doesn't count. It's the motion in the ocean."
Hey, and that's what he does on that field. Although I know what you're talking about.
So Rolando Rodriguez said, "MCF, why do the Cowboys always wait too long to sign their players? Then we pay more later. Sign Diggs, CD, and Dak now, and go Cowboys, America's team."
It's simple. It's just 2 words, guys. 2 words and 1 picture. It's called The Clown Show. Clown Show. It's simple as that. That's why.
So, let me see here. We'll back a little bit.
Anybody has thoughts on the Deuce Vaughn?
Well, Kevin Bilbo just said, Deuce can be a playmaker for us to forget his size. Like, he can be enough of a playmaker for us to forget that he's 5'4".
On this play, you just see on the screen right there, he was trying to pass block. He got knocked to the ground. Got up, caught the pass, and went for a touchdown. I'm just saying, exactly. I think his size you got to measure it out. You can't overuse him. He can't be a full-time pounding running back, but you can use him in the red zone. You give him 10 carries in a game, and you catch the ball 3 times, run it 2 times. He will put up some numbers. He will be a playmaker type guy. And I agree. You will not even remember his size. You just say that short guy can play.
Yes, the Clown Show in full effect. You guys cracked me up. Let me see. Retro Scotty said, funny looking at how Russell Wilson did with Schottenheimer in Seattle from
good point.
2018 to 2020.
That's a good point, too. And I don't think they should use Dak as that, though. I think you can use a Russell Wilson kind of guy, like a Jalen Hurts kind of guy, like maybe a Deuce Vaughn type of guy. Now, again, I know those guys are bigger, but they are. You got to remember, to me, I think of a quarterback running. they're still, even though they could be big enough and they could be the size of a running back, they're still delicate. They get hit wrong on the hand or something. Now you got an issue throwing the ball. To me, that's an issue, a scare of using a quarterback in a running situation. So, running with Russell Wilson, or right now, with the way Jalen Hurts is being run, that works for them for now. We'll see how long that takes. That worked for them then for Russell Wilson. But if you can find someone that can do similar things to what you're talking about with the quarterbacks, and it's the safest play inside the red zone, then why not? I don't want to say make Deuce Vaughn your quarterback, obviously not, but pretend for a second you give him the ball to him and he just runs. Just a basic fucking run, and let him get lost with the offensive lineman. He'll squirt through and get a touchdown. He'll squirt through and get a first down. He'll squirt through and get 5 to 6 yards before anyone can even spot him. Let's see how that works. I think in training camp, and especially in preseason, you're going to see a lot of Deuce Vaughn used in a lot of different ways. Look for the red zone to be maybe one of the key ways he'll be used this season. Red zone, will he be used like a Hurts style? I don't know. But maybe he'll be used the Deuce style and surprise everyone. We'll have to wait and see.
So, Bean Dip said, Jerry ain't cooking no more. So, Kevin Bobo said, Jerry watched the film on Zeke and he don't have it no more. So,
yeah, I guess he was dreaming about him, though, for a little bit.
Yep. Oh, Thomas Garrett, yes, with the clown emojis. Yeah, Jerry's just, having a good old time and clowning around, joking around.
I'm just trying to throw out stuff out there when it comes to Deuce Vaughn, because I believe that he's a piece we drafted for a reason. He'll find a way on the field. I'm just trying to say, if I've seen these stats about a Jalen Hurts type of safe running play and effective play in the red zone with someone like Jalen Hurts, who's small enough to kind of hide behind guys, and Deuce Vaughn should easily be able to do the same thing, in my humble opinion. In my humble opinion, the man, Mark Hosepian, in the house with that 5 on it.
Woo,
$5 holla by Mark. And baby, you know what that does? That puts him immediately in first place on the overall board. Again, we're kicking off a new week, of course. What did the man Mark have to say on this thing, baby?
We have so much firepower at receiver, and we just need a running back who keeps teams honest. If Jerry Jones believes in Dak, he should extend him. That's simple. But it's a clown show. Oh,
it's funny, when I put that clown show picture, I'm like, I know Mark somewhere around here.
So, Mark Hosepian, first of all, shout out to you.
Yes,
appreciate you.
much love to you, brother.
And exactly, at this point, our receiver room is not just stacked; it's like a triple stacked, right? I can see why the argument is still being made for, we have a run-shaped hole right now that we still need filling here offensively.
Power-wise, right? Power-wise, power running back, short yardage back. But the firepower is on this team, whether it's Turpin, whether it's Deuce, whether it's... Listen, Tony Pollard to me is the best guy I just named out of those group. We don't forget Tony Pollard. He's a playmaker. Those guys on top of CeeDee Lambs and Brandon Cooks in the receiving end, I mean, find a way, McCarthy. Find a way to get these guys the ball in their hands and let them make plays because they're playmakers. Yes, Mark, I 100% agree.
Yes, so, and by the way, yes, mahalo to you, Mark. Thank you.
Mahalo.
Retro Scotty said Russell Wilson touchdown interceptions in 2018. He was 35-7, 31-5, and then 40-13.
Jeez, fantastic numbers there, right? I mean, and again, was that some running on the ground? I'm assuming with Russell Wilson. So yeah, that's. Thank you for those stats, Retro. So I mean, look, to me, you can use Deuce Vaughn in some shape, form, or fashion. You're getting the ball in the playmaker's hands, whether it's third downs only or third downs and some red zone stuff. Use him. Let's see how he does in training camp. Let's see how he does under the lights in preseason. And then give him a roll. Give him some snaps here. Give him 7, 10, 13 snaps in a game as needed. We will be fine. I think Deuce Vaughn will be fine on this team. Boom, as he bursts right through, baby. You know how he do. Touchdown, and eventually touchdown Cowboys. So I'll let the chat speak now and kind of go through a couple things here as we're wrapping things up here, getting the last comments and thoughts on things. A little quickie tonight. Tomorrow is the 4th of July, so again, hope everybody has a great 4th of July. We will try to do something, but we might be busy with family, so that's why we're kind of counting tomorrow. Probably not going to be here, so get in your last thoughts, your last comments. I'll go with the overtime here if you guys want me to go overtime, and we'll keep rocking it here. I know the wife does have to work, though, in the morning. Believe it or not, it's a half day. I don't have to work, so I'm just chilling here talking football tonight, baby. So hit this last comment up. You'll say goodnight, and I'm going to sit here, and I guess you can still sit and chat.
Yeah, no, I'll still be in the chat for the next few minutes as I kind of still do my
you'll still be
rest
here.
Of my routine.
Yeah, she'll be jumping on the mic if needed, but she'll be listening. Always listening, right? Always watching.
All I got to do is ring the MCW bell, right? So,
what did the man Marco Seppi have to say?
He said, I am not a fan of Dak, but if Jerry Jones will not make any effort to draft or sign another QB, then he should not fuck up like he did last time and then overpay Dak.
And again, that is
honestly,
side, right?
I've said it before, going way, way, way back to even before Dak got his first contract. The Cowboys need to either shit or get off the pot when it comes to Dak Prescott, right? They said publicly and supposedly privately, Dak is the guy, we believe in him, he's what we want long term. But then they sat there and twiddled their thumbs and waited so long to sign him long term. It became a much bigger thing than it needed to be. So, good for Dak and his money, but kind of bad from the front office side of things. So, at the end of the day, it does bring up a lot of interesting questions, and it does feel like this year a lot of things are hanging in the balance, including Dak's future, as far as at least with Dallas, in my mind. In a long-term way, right? It's not like they're just going to cut him if he fucks up or something.
No, but we know that Dak doesn't come back. Dak doesn't come back this next year. I mean, on another contract if he has a bad year. The thing is this, and I agree with Mark, I agree with everybody, that if Dak Prescott is their guy, if they're sure he's their guy, and they don't have a plan on drafting anybody or doing anything here in a year buffer they have now, after this year, there's a 1 year left, you got to make a decision on Dak's contract. And what are you doing? I mean, whether or not you think Dak is the greatest quarterback of all time, I don't think he is that, but he is good enough to win a Super Bowl if you get the right coaching and players around him. And $40 million worth it or not? Yeah, he's worth it because he's freaking, that's market value right now. So to me, all that stuff has to go out the window right now as far as market value as of now. Again, $50 million, you can make your claims on why it's not good or whatever, but the next quarterback's going to be $55 million and $60 million. So, and when they're going to be worse than Dak. So to me, where do you want to ride with this? I mean, we've got a Super Bowl chance here in the next couple of years, and Dak knows the team, knows the system. Keep the guys in place. And if you're going to do that, sign Dak for another 2-year, 3-year extension. And that's going to save us money now, push money forward. Yeah, okay, we know it's going to happen, but the more you push forward, the more absorption the salary cap will come for us. And that's going to be fine. We might have to have a year where we can't spend any money on anyone. Well, that's because we got Dak, Micah, Trayvon, CeeDee Lamb, and on and on. These guys that we drafted here to make something happen, and then we're going to let them go because they cost money and they're good. Like that's the thing I don't understand. If you're sure, sign these guys. The longer you wait with CeeDee Lamb, the more it's going to be. Another $1 million, $2 million a year is going to be for him. Same with Dak. Same with Trayvon Diggs. I think Trayvon's the one that's going to hurt us the most in some ways because if we re-sign him, I think he's going to have a better year this year than you think, and then that's going to make Jerry's going to have to pay more money for him. So yeah, I'm with you on this, Mark. Pay. If you know you want this guy, and stop dilly-dallying it. So to me, this is all about using the waiting game as a negotiation tool. And that, to me, is bitten Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones in the ass. I don't know how you feel about that. But the waiting game is like putting pressure on the player.
I literally just said it. Yeah. This waiting game, this kind of half-in, half-out approach really screwed him over when it came to Dak because the Cowboys, had to pay a whole lot more money for the same exact player for really not too much of a good reason, I have to admit.
So I guess instead of Jerry Jones, I should put this on there for now. Right?
Honk the nose 3 times.
Honk, honk, honk. Yeah, I mean, the clown show, unfortunately, has been biting us in the ass for a while now. And, I think they've done a little less fucking up this year.
Look, I guess
still fucked up a little bit, though.
Jerry's into that. That's his kink.
I don't like him playing with us, our emotions, as his kink for our team here. So this clown show got to get their shit together. It just seems logical, right? That at least Jerry Jones has done a little better this year. And, hey, even a documentary on him, I don't care about the money or how many episodes it is, but he's getting focused on good. That takes focus away from the Cowboy players, which is exactly the way I think is best for our team. Mark Hope Seppian with that 5 on it. Another $5 holler stays in that lead. And, adding raffle entries to the mix here. What did he have to say, baby?
He said, I can see why they are hesitant to extend him, but we are painting ourselves into a corner again.
Yep.
Add to that, not signing a guard, and we have the clown show.
Wait, what did he say? The what?
The Clown Show.
Woo! There it is. Unfortunately, we didn't have a shirt made like this. I wish we could. But yeah, guys, they are dicks. They are the Clown Show, and they again. I will say this again: better off season than most. But they could have done so much more. They could have done better. They could have still made some moves I think would have helped us. Now, again, we can talk about Luke Schoonmaker. Talk about that all day long. And say, was it the right move? Should we have gone after Osiris Torrance? I say yes, but the Cowboys said, let's go with a guy who can block and catch in Luke Schoonmaker. Could the Cowboys have gone and try to secure in the free agency left guard situation? The answer is yes. We could have definitely already picked up a left guard somewhere, before scraps. We have scraps left now, but we still have Dalton Risner out there, a top 5 free agent. In the top guard free agent out there right now. Let's grab him. He's people saying $9 million a year. Jerry Jones ain't going to pay that. So that's for sure. Yeah, hold on a second, guys. All right, sorry about that, guys. So yeah, I mean they seem to, I don't know, shoot themselves in the foot, wait till there's, to wait this game out, and then they clown show it. And then when they wait the game out, they wait it out, they got to pay more. Then it looks like then it's a bad deal sometimes. Maybe it's a worse deal because they wait longer. If they had done it when it was, when they already knew they were in, then, it would have been a perfect deal, right? But if they wait a year or two, now it's overpaying. Now it's paying the normal price instead of a cheaper price, a good deal. And that seems to go against business. And that's the Clown Show. That's just what they do out there. It's very unfortunate that we have to. I wish Jerry Jones would make, a little part of that docu-series. One of those 10 episodes, make it about him being the fucking Clown Show. He'll never do that. So let me hit the chat up here, guys. He said, that's the Rolando Rodriguez comment there. Forget they gave Tony 3 times at the goal line, did not score. Yeah, to power back. Again, listen, there are definitely times you need to utilize, the power back, running back situation. Tony Romo was not a running quarterback like Jalen Hurts is. And that's why I was saying, if you get a Deuce Vaughn in there, I'm not saying you want him in the goal line. Goal line, I still think we need a power back, whether it's Tyler Lipke, if he makes the team, or Ronald Jones. But you got at least one guy that can do that at times. But there's other ways you can utilize your running backs. And it seems like McCarthy's trying to utilize the faster guys to get that yard rather than the powerful guys to get that yard. That's what it seems like to me, but maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? I love Bean Dip said, how much cap space we got? Well, we got a little over $20 million. I can say 21, 22, 20.5, but it's over 20 right now. We know that. Some of that will be utilized with, certain monies and stuff like this, like, I forgot the name, but incentives in the contracts. That stuff gets added on, I think, at the end of the preseason. And it all gets, so they're going to lose about $3 or $4 million. We're going to lose another couple $1 million as well. When they, and not lose, but they're going to save about $5 to $7 million the Cowboys through the season to get guys like Hankins or T.Y. Hilton, which is what we did in the middle of last year. They always keep $5 to $7 million on the side to roll over at worst, and at best to sign someone throughout the season in a trade or something like that. So we'll have to wait and see. Cactus said the cap is too high. You got to let him go. You can't let him go. Cannot. So that's the thing. Either you get him a guaranteed contract, or you got to pay 2 more years after next year. Like after next year will be Dak's last year, and we got 2 more years of dead cap money, about $30 million a year. That's their dead. Big Mark in the house once again. Another 5 on it. As we go into the overtime session here, let me hit him up on his comment. He said, depending on a tight end to improve the run and protect Dak is over a guard is 100% Clown Show. We were told our young tight ends were top rated. That's not enough. Clown Show. Now, I will say this. I agree for the most part. There with Luke Schoonmaker, I think the Cowboys are trying to use him. I look at Luke Schoonmaker not just as a tight end. I look at him as an offensive piece. Not a weapon, but an offensive piece that Mike McCarthy is going to love to try to utilize. And he's going to try to find ways to use Luke Schoonmaker as an inline tight end blocker. Sometimes even as a fullback look for him. Off the line of scrimmage, on the line of scrimmage, even in the slot for occasional passing plays for him. I'm just saying, like, the Cowboys are looking at Schoonmaker, and they were looking at, was it Dalton Kincaid and other guys I think they were looking at throughout, in the tight ends area there. They wanted to get this kind of guy that's a double weapon. He can run block and he can pass catch, but he's versatile. That's what the Cowboys were looking at. That was going to be their first round pick. So they went with Luke Schoonmaker, the second best of that style or that type of tight end. So that's what the Cowboys were looking at. And I think the blocking with the receiving aspect, the versatility, I know we all hate that word, but that's what McCarthy's looking at in the West Coast or Texas Toast offense that they're bringing to light this season. So, again, great comments, again, by Mark, and I agree with him. I do think that a guard would have been better, but the Cowboys are looking at the guard as being Tyler Smith because, hey, everyone's going to be healthy, and that's the thing. That's the clown show. Biadasz, I think, is very good. At center, Zach Martin, a solid man there, of course. Terrence Steele, he's coming back, but when, right? Week 1, 2, 3, I don't know. Hopefully week 1, but I'm not going to bet on that. And then the left side, I mean, Tyler Smith at guard or tackle, fantastic. I love it. We all love it. But Tyron Smith, even at tackle, is great until he goes down. So left tackle, I like left tackle, Tyron Smith. Left guard, Tyler Smith. Center, Biadasz. Right guard, of course, Zach Martin. Right tackle, Terrence Steele. But what happens when one of them go down? Would Terrence Steele be there in time? Would Tyron Smith last a full season? Of course not. So that's the killer right there. That's a Dalton Reisner would help us tremendously, in my humble opinion. Marco Seppian said extend. Oh, by the way, he dropped that 5 on it. And chopping Jason Renfro down to 41 points on the stream, boss. Gotta say it. Mark's in the lead. He said extend Dak. Use the money to sign CeeDee Lamb and Diggs. And then when the cap goes up, you should have the money to sign the others. Holding on to $20 million is the clown show. Exactly. And there's no way. $20 million plus, even if we sign a kicker, which we will, it's $1 million. Come on. $1 million? $1.5 million, $2 million at the most. At most. So, all right, now you're around 18, 19 million, right? Let's get an offensive fucking lineman in there and secure this shit when one of the offensive linemen go down. Terrence Steele back in time, not in time, who knows? Let's secure that shit. Tyron Smith will play there, great. Tyler Smith will play left tackle, great. Who plays left guard? Chuma Odoga? Asim Richards? I mean, he's a rookie. TJ Bass, an undrafted rookie. And, of course, you got Matt Farniok, a 7th-round pick who never really cannot start for us. I mean, we saw it last year. Had some major issues in there. Josh Ball, a right tackle, left tackle playing left guard. Well, Let's Go's probably the best chance. He's played a little left guard as well this, in training camp, in mini camp. But it's all a big fucking question mark. That's your starter we're talking about. If one of those guys go down, Tyron Smith or Terrence Steele, you got to go to your backups, and now we got no backup anyway. So to me, Dalton Reisner is a starting quality guy that is there when you need him, and you're going to need him pretty much the whole fucking year. Trust me on this. You're going to need him a lot. So Tyler Smith, you go left tackle, left guard, we're good. Tyron Smith, go left tackle, right tackle, we're good. Terrence Steele and come back, we're good if we got Dalton Reisner at left guard. That's all. Nothing else to say on this. Cowboys might try to make a trade for a tackle, or for a left guard. Might try to pick up somebody when the cuts come around. Who knows? But if you're picking up guys that are getting cut, then that means they're not. That's clown show. That means they're not. They're not the quality of starter that we kind of need in case someone goes down. They're not going to be a starter, but we get someone close to a starter. And Dalton Reisner is literally a starter on the left side. So the only thing I can see is the Cowboys don't want to pay starter money to a guy that they believe is going to be a backup, which I see as our 6th offensive lineman is a starter on this team. That's just me, I guess. I don't know. Much love, Mark. You're riling me up here in a good way because I agree with you on these things here. So, again, Cactus G said, I believe the coaches think of our O-linemen and reserves. I'm sorry, they think better of our O-linemen and reserves than most fans do. I agree with that. That's always kind of been the way. Is it stubbornness or is it accuracy? Is it a clown show or is it actually real, right? Sometimes it seems like false hope. I see Terrence Steele come through. What a turnaround he had. Cowboys have done that with some of these guys, but some of these guys just always stay there, right? So, Tyler Smith was great, but Matt Farniok still shitting to bed. I can't rely on TJ Bass and Asim Richards, 2 rookies. Those can't be starters for our team right now. And Chuma Odoga is a starter left tackle, right tackle, but I know he's on a little guard. I guess he's the starter if we got to move guys around, but does that sound good to you guys? I got to see what happens in training camp and preseason, and even then I won't be sold. I got to know what's going to happen at that, with our domino effect here on our offensive line. If they stay healthy all year, we got a top 10 offensive line. Well, we know it's not going to happen, right, family? I mean, that shit never happens with Tyron Smith in the lineup. Not for the last 7 years. He misses games. When he misses a game or Terrence Steele don't get there in week 1, then what do we do? I want to know from you guys, who the fuck we plug in there if we stay the way it is right now? I got to chill out. This is 4th of July. Let's celebrate, guys. This is our 4th of July stream in a way, right? Happy 4th of July, guys. Just in case you're out there ready to pop off those fireworks. You can start right now. Raymond Solis in the house. Go Cowboys. Rolando Rodriguez. You always say the pie is a lie. Jerry can sign whoever he wants. Correct. Rolando Rodriguez. $20 million or $2 million. We can still sign whoever we want and mix and match the way we construct the deal. We construct the deals. Let me put it that way. I love being the. You need to be general managers for the Cowboys who can stop the clown show. Trust me, I wish. But I think Jerry Jones has someone filled up for that spot already, and his name is Jerry Jones. Retro said the clown show wants to redeem themselves. Sign a decent offensive lineman, Dalton Reisner. For quality depth, a starter kind of guy, a guy like Dalvin Cook. Again, that's a big jump there. Now you talk about a lot more money the clown show is not going to spend. They shouldn't spend on a running back, in my opinion, but I can understand why people would want him in here. I think the Cowboys have their clown show kind of ideas on what they're going to do with that short yardage stuff. I hope it works. But again, Retro said add another dimension to the offense and add another receiver in this sense. I agreed somewhat, but there's no way the Cowboys are going to spend $20 million on Dalvin Cook, a kicker, another receiver to the mix, which they already see. I think our receiving core is pretty solid. The offensive lineman like Dalton Reisner, which cost them $7 million. Let's see. I don't know. I don't think they'll do this. Too much to ask for, Retro, from the clown show. You know what I mean? Exactly. He's talking about extending Dak on that. He said Schottenheimer. I got those numbers in there. It was great. Let me see. I'm getting Cactus. She said the new O-line coach may like what he sees, but the bottom line is who's healthy and what's going to happen. Exactly, Cactus. Even if Mike Soliari, who's our new offensive line coach, even if he is like head over heels over Asim Richards, even if he loves TJ Bass's upside, okay, great. But who's really going to start at left guard if Tyler Smith got to play left tackle? Just saying, and that happens if Tyron Steele's not there week 1. That happens if Tyron Smith gets hurt week 6. What's going to happen? We got to think this through because that will cost us the season. Or let me just say will possibly cost us the season. If it slows down what our plan is on offense, it will stop us. Now, if McCarthy has a plan in place already, and this is what I'm hoping for, guys, roll with me here on this because I've been saying this for a while. If Mike McCarthy knows the clown show, what they do, right? We all know what they do. They're not going to spend any money to clean up some holes. They're going to say, coaches, you fucking fix it. Well, Mike McCarthy, with the West Coast 30% offense, if you get most of your plays quickly run, and we've already heard from Dak, from McCarthy, from Schottenheimer, these are going to be quick plays. They're going to be 2.5 second reads with basically Dak getting 2 reads or 3 reads at most on a play quickly. If it's not there, the whole offense, offensive linemen, tight ends, running backs, receivers, and of course Dak Prescott, the quarterback, they break pocket and they scramble. And Dak scrambles and extend the play, maybe run for 4 yards, maybe throw a 30-yard pass on the extended play. That's what I believe McCarthy's going to do, and that means you can do that even with a bad offensive lineman on the field. Even the thing that hurts you the most is probably running the ball. So I think McCarthy's going to lean on that passing game, and he's going to lean on getting the ball out quickly, letting Dak have limited reads, up-tempo, which helps Dak. Dak is dominant up-tempo offense. Give him a couple motion players, some play action. We're good. We are good, guys. And Soliari and Schottenheimer worked together in Seattle. You see some of the numbers that Retro brought up here about Chris Carson, and the numbers he had there, leading rusher for them. They're going to be working more with the run game, and then McCarthy will say, okay, now call that running play. Call that running play you guys made. That's what Soliari and Schottenheimer are going to bring to the table for McCarthy. Let's see how he uses it. Got to hope he uses it right. I believe in McCarthy more than I did ever in Kellen Moore. Mark Hovsepian dropping that 1, 2, 3, 4, and another 5 on it. The 5th 5 here as we enter year 6 and 7 here on MCF. Mark Hovsepian said it's hype as usual. Oh, I tell you, I know. He said Josh Ball and Matt Farniok, solid starters. You know what that means? That's a quote from The Clown Show. I'm just saying, if they were going to say something, that's a Clown Show type quote, right? He said, what the fuck is Jerry Jones smoking? It's just frustrating that Dak's not the guy who wins games, but he's a decent quarterback. And look, I agree. I got to say this again to Mark, man. When it comes to Dak Prescott, I see what Dak did last season. We all saw what he did last season. It wasn't great. There are a lot of interceptions. We talked about the interceptions. A lot of those are not on Dak. Check out the video. But we also talked about Dak's great playoff game against the Buccaneers. It was a team effort. Defense, receivers, everybody. Even Kellen Moore. The last time they actually had a good scheme together. And Dak, as you can see, aggressive and attacking. This is what he did all year. And when you got 3rd and 18, that's where Dak got in trouble. But Dak, you don't play behind the chains like Kellen Moore did with Dak in the offense. If you stay in front of those chains, ahead of the chains, if you can do that on a consistent basis, not force 3rd and 18s for first downs from Dak breaks the pocket here. You're going to see a lot more of that. You're seeing here, you're going to see a lot more of that this year. Dak here staying in the pocket, just breaking down, tight window throw. These are the things Dak dominated in this game against the Bucs. Playing like this, in a situation where, to me, it's still not Dak's strength. This is not Dak's strength. Dak's strength is quick reads, get the ball out quick, roll them out, extend the play, and you will find success. So to me, whether Dak's getting $40 million or $4 million, I don't care. You put the right pieces around him, which I think we got pretty much that set up a little better other than offensive line, and you get the biggest thing to me, even more than that, is the game plan, the way you call plays for him, the way you design plays. You got to go to his skill set. He's a $40 million guy. He's your quarterback. Then treat him like that. Don't force him. Don't force him into the Kellen Moore scheme. Let's force a scheme around Dak Prescott. It's not cool. It's not high powered. It's not 35 points throwing the ball down the field 20 times, 30 times down the big. No, who gives a shit? Let's play to his strengths. You got dink and dunk it. Let's win a Super Bowl that way. I don't give a fuck. Marco Seppian in the house once again with another $5 holler here. And he said, our team beat a losing record poor Tampa Bay team. What happens when we play better teams? We lose. His arm isn't enough to compensate for poor backups. And, I agree with it. I agree with the Buccaneers defense was not that good. Although, they did know our entire playbook before this, the last 2 times we played them. They knew it. But Dak overcame this. And again, their defense might not have been that good. I agree with that for the most part. But they weren't bad. Niners had a great defense, and we almost won that game. Tony Pollard went out, and we still almost won that game. And that's my point, Mark. That's my point. That's the good news here. That's actually good news, what you're saying. Dak Prescott and this offense destroyed the Bucs. Dak Prescott and this offense hung in with the Niners without Tony Pollard for about half the game, a little over half the game. And what I'm trying to say here is that if we did that with Kellen Moore, a non-adjusting offensive coordinator that left Dak and the offense, with their hands tied behind their back. If we did that well with a fucking Kellen Moore, then how well will we do when Mike McCarthy's calling the plays? How good can we do with Mike McCarthy adjusting to the team's strengths and weaknesses, noticing what they are, not ignoring the weaknesses, and playing around it, calling plays and game planning around our weaknesses and towards our strengths. Simple as that to me. That's what we saw for 4 years of Kellen Moore. Just playing towards our weaknesses sometimes. Not caring weaknesses or strengths, just playing to the scheme. And that was a failure on this offense for 4 years. Could have been Tom Brady at the quarterback. It would have been a failure. Trust me on this. I truly believe it would have been a fail. And so, hey, we'll have to wait and see. But to me, this is truly the best chance for this offense, not to put up 35 points a game. Who gives a fuck? I'm not there for the stats. I'm there for the wins. I want to see us be consistent against good defenses and bad defenses. And if the quick pass, quick play, that McCarthy has in mind for this offense is what works to Dak's strengths, then let's do it. I'm good with that. And if Dak handles that right, and that's what McCarthy has seen over 4 years with the Cowboys here, 3 years, now into the 4th, I trust McCarthy, the quarterback whisperer. I trust McCarthy in finally being allowed to kind of run an offense around Dak, not the offense forcing Dak into it. And I think that's the biggest difference, the biggest benefit for us going into 2023. So, man, great conversation with you guys. Seriously, I do agree with Marco Seppian about the better defensive teams. But can I say one last thing about that? Do you think that the bad defensive teams also are easily taken advantage by Kellen Moore's offensive scheme? I believe the offensive scheme is what worked against the bad teams, and we got 35 points again. It's not Dak. It's the scheme that worked against teams that couldn't get in at Dak, until after 3 seconds. And we had guys open. It's great when it works against shitty teams, but when it doesn't work, it's not Dak's fault necessarily or this guy. It's about the scheme not adjusting to the defense, and that was the problem. Whether it was you couldn't block in time and Dak was under pressure, okay, you find ways around that. You just sit there and take sacks, or let your quarterback get out there and get stuck in the middle of the game, just having to figure shit out. That's not Dak, and that's not a right game plan to me. You adapt. You have a plan B and plan C ready. Kellen Moore, I trust me on this. He never had a plan B or plan C ready. Trust me on this. We never saw the changes. We just saw a couple alterations throughout a season. And Mike McCarthy changed the whole thing week 2 to week 6 when Cooper Rush was in there. And he worked it to the strengths of our team. That is why McCarthy is here now calling the offense. And that's why Kellen Moore is not here with the Cowboys. I'm telling you, that week 2 Bengals game to the week 6 Eagle game is the reason why McCarthy saved his job and Kellen Moore is outie. Now, we got Marco Seppian with another $5 holler. He's literally 26 away, DeRon Bland away from taking the Stream Boss back in his possession. That means 16 out of 18 weeks he'd be dominating that Stream Boss. He already got the all-time sponsor of the week record at 15 in a row. God damn, that's a lot. So what did Mark say this time? He said, you realize you played a 49ers team with a third-string rookie quarterback. Point is, if you think Dak's arm will compensate for poor personnel decisions, you would be off. Now, again, I think Brock Purdy's situation, and again, I can't compare him to Dak Prescott. I just can't, because their scheme worked towards Brock Purdy's skill set. You guys feel me on this? That's Shanahan. That's why they're better than us, because Shanahan's using the quarterback he's got and game planning around him and his skills. You feel me? I can't compare that, because if Dak was in that offense in the San Francisco 49ers, we would see Dak Prescott playing incredibly with a coordinator that plays to that quarterback's strength. Our coordinator forced our quarterback to just be blind and play into the way he wanted him to play. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's it. The way that Kellen Moore thought that Dak Prescott could play best in. That, when you see that that's not his best, you should fucking alter shit. But he never did. He never did for 4 years. McCarthy did it in the drop of a dime. In the drop of a hat, week 2, boom. Let me get in here, take a couple laps with Kellen Moore, talk to him, and tell him, hey, we got to make this offense fit our quarterback. Trust me, the Joneses knew this. The Joneses know what happened. They saw it. And that's why they kept McCarthy and said bye to Kellen Moore. The flash didn't last. Wins maybe is boring, which is what we did with Cooper Rush in there, and boringly won games with bad offense, but we still won because of the coaching and the game plan by Mike McCarthy. So, again, trust me, the clown show hurts us. It's not helping us that we have to overcome this on the field. But again, I do think that you got to do whatever you got to make it work with whatever you got on the field. And I think whether it's Dak Prescott or Mike McCarthy or the offensive line, Cowboys got to find a game plan that makes it work through the good, bad, and ugly in a season. Every team has to do that. Usually win a Super Bowl, you got to get through a lot of shit. And you got to do it with great personnel decisions, which is one of the things we lack at sometimes with the front office. But when you look at McCarthy kind of work with what he's given, it's not like he's given nothing, but he's going to try to make the best of it. And I think he's going to have, adapting to the game, to the opponent, and around our skill players to their skill set. That's the key, in my opinion. So, yeah, I think Dak just used properly. It's not about his arm, like Rolando said. He's getting maybe too aggressive was my issue with Kellen Moore telling him, get more aggressive. To me, it was helpful, but it was also very hurtful when he's trying to sneak balls into tight window throws. He was told to force in there because Kellen Moore said, we got Noah Brown going out for you. And a limping Michael Gallup. I mean, those are players on the field that just you can't overcome that. No matter who the damn quarterback is, trying to throw tight window throws constantly is going to cost you. You're going to get picks, and that's what we saw with Dak Prescott. A lot of interceptions. So I'm looking here, guys, and let me see here. Limited reads for Dax at Cactus G. Hey, listen, whether it works or not, whether he can't handle it or not, it could be because we don't have an offensive line set up to to hold that line down long enough on a consistent, maybe for 2-3 weeks we'll have the whole 5 guys on there starting. Great. We could probably do whatever we want. That we could go to Kellen Moore's playbook and be fine. The point is, most of the year we're not going to have that. So the quick passing, the quick reads, that's what's going to help this offense. Whether it's Dak, whether it's the offensive line, that's what's going to make things faster, in my humble opinion. Retro said Dalton Reisner, Bronco fans they want to get rid of him because he threw Ripken, the quarterback for the Broncos he pushed him to the ground after a game, or on the sideline they caught him throwing the quarterback to the ground. That's why they don't like him. I personally like that. Let's go. Oh shit. Rolando said, didn't the Bengals cut La'el Collins, bring him back to play guard? I think they did cut him, I think. Where is he now? Is he in the NFL? I don't know. They might have re-signed him. I'm not sure. That's a good question, Rolando. I have to just double check that. But that is one of Dak's best friends there. Got to be careful, Dak. Don't want to be around too close because, he did supposedly paid off drug test guys, checking his cloudy piss. So, Retro said, not to mention Chris Carson was a 7th-round draft pick. Exactly. I mean, Tony Pollard's going to be fantastic. Just can't use him more than like 75 or 80%. That's a workhorse already. There's no need to keep running, playing him till the wheels fall off when you want him healthy consistently the whole year. Tony Pollard, out of all our playmakers in the backfield, you can talk about Deuce Vaughn and you can talk about Malik Davis. I'm sorry, but Tony Pollard is by far the best out of all of them, by far. So he still needs to get most of those carries. A win is a win, says I Love Bean Dip. But yeah, a win is a win until you get to the better teams, and then a win is a loss. So then that's the only thing, Bean Dip. Cactus said we left 2 touchdowns on the field. That would have won it for us. Yeah, we took away a point. We could have taken points away if Trayvon Diggs would have had that pick, right? We threw that pick right in the red zone after we lost Tony Pollard. Dak Prescott with a bad pass there, bad decision. That cost us at least 3 points, right? So a lot of points cost, a lot of points given away. And we only lost by 8, 7, 6? I don't know. But my point here is give us a little bit better, Brandon Diggs at a receiver. Brandon Cooks at receiver. Give us a better receiver there. Brandon Cooks is much better than Noah Brown, right? A little improved Michael Gallup after a full year of the ACL. And, you give us that and a little bit better play caller. Thank you, Mike McCarthy. You give us a little more from those things right there, and we're a better offense by far than last year, in my humble opinion. So let's say we could have beat the Niners, I know, but Kellen Moore, guys, forcing Dak to throw the ball in dangerous territory with Noah Brown as your receiver, and you're using Zeke as your running back that got an average of 2 yards a gain play in the playoffs. So it was just bad decisions by the offense, bad play calling, bad everything. No adjustments, KM, says Michael Aldana. I've been saying that here on MCF since before he was our freaking coordinator, guys. Cactus G said Dak missed a wide open T.Y. Hilton, probably would have won with a touchdown. Turpin had a return for a touchdown. Yeah, those are some points left off on the field and some points given away by Dak and given away by Trayvon Diggs other places in that game and by the play calling. I believe that's a big part of it too. He's carrying more on to me, said Retro Scotty. Lenahan Garrett 2.0, maybe even 3.0. Yeah, exactly. I love Bean Dip. I agree. Brock Purdy was shut down pretty much by our deal. Again, he's not the greatest quarterback, but he was in a skill set, in a game plan that went along his skill strengths. And that's why they have a better. Just look, Shanahan versus Moore. There's no comparison. Kellen Moore is trash, no adjustments, and doesn't put his players to succeed through their strengths. He puts them into try to succeed through Kellen Moore's game plan, and that does not work. And that would not work with Brock Purdy if he was with the Cowboys. Trust me. Kellen Moore, I tell you, Lean Dip, you got it. Cactus G said Kellen and Dak didn't fundamentally see the game in the same way. I think Dak would that's the one thing I have with Dak. Again, I think this year McCarthy's trying to have him take ownership of the offense, which to me means just take the fucking game away, even from McCarthy. Just do your thing, Dak, and get it done. Dak is good at that. He thrives in that. That was not allowed with Kellen Moore. And I think that's the thing. Kellen Moore wanted him to stay in the pocket and throw the ball in his game plan, in his scheme, throw the ball into double coverage or triple coverage, and you just do it, Dak. You do it aggressively. And he succeeded a lot. He's very good in tight window throws, but you just can't keep challenging destiny and fate there and just keep pushing it until you eventually get picked and more picked. And that's what happened with Dak. Some of them bounced off the receiver's hands. So, yeah, he got 17 picks, but 7 of them were the receiver's fault. So, Dak 10, 11 picks, yeah, I can see that this year being extra aggressive. So, And even that's not horrible. With the aggressiveness and the long third down conversions, he was up against the wall the whole year. Still second best behind Mahomes when it comes to converting third and long. Second best in the league. That's a guy was getting a lot more third and longs than Patrick Mahomes. Them's facts, in case you didn't know. Yep, Cactus G, exactly. Kellen Moore made his reputation as a timing quarterback. Dak is not his thing. So I think Dak rolling him out, getting a little more mobile, not necessarily running the ball, but extending the play, opens up avenues for success. Again, high octane, up-tempo offense. That helps Dak. You've seen him do it. He dominates on up-tempo. That's what I mean by going by the quarterback skill set, his strengths. Kellen Moore said no, no, and no. We're going to do it this way, whether you like it or not. Suicide Squad says Michael Dunn. Okay. Yeah, Dean Bean said, Niners game. Kellen Moore made us lose that game because he wanted to throw the ball every damn play. 2nd and 2 after Tony Pollard went down in 49er territory against a very good defense. You get that first down. You grind it out. You find a safe pass. You don't sit there and basically do a play that the Niners had covered in every single facet, and then you force it into a tight window. So not a good game plan. It's very annoying to think about that game a lot. And again, Kellen Moore did say Dak is a great person on and off the field, leader, a great player. He does things different than even any guy he's ever seen on the field, which is a good thing. So yeah, Kellen Moore saw those things and then said, you know what, I'm going to use those things to help my offense instead of let me help my offense to keep making Dak better, to keep helping Dak in the offense. He didn't do that, Kellen Moore. So fuck him for that. MCW is out for the count, guys. Just letting you know. Jason Renfro in the house. Yeah, we're saying goodnight here. Just wanted to go into the overtime session. Make sure I hit up all the comments. Mr. Bean Dip said, "Who was offensive coordinator in 2016? Was that? I know it was Lenahan, right? Lenahan was the coordinator. Yeah, it was in 2015. Lenahan was our coordinator, and Roman would just change the play every time. He said, kill, and kill it. This is where I think I want Dak to be at, to be able to kill and change plays when he sees things fit to change that way. He never got that opportunity in 7 years. This is the year he might have that first chance to do that, even in Mike McCarthy's offense. As long as McCarthy and Dak are on the same page, Dak can kill plays if he sees what he's been taught to see and change the play with, right? So I think that we'll be fine with Dak taking a little more ownership of this offense. Oh, the Cash App bell might have just rang. Let me check on that. Ding-a-ling-a-ling. We got ourselves a new leader. And on the Cash App side, right now it's $1. Holler by Jason Renfro, trying to go back to back. You know like who, right? Like our 90s Cowboys. You know it. Much love, Jason Renfro. He takes the lead in the Cash App, and he's already got it. 1 week. He's got the sponsor of the week as well. He's got the lead right now in the Cash App side. Thanks. Much love, Jason Renfro, and that wonderful, beautiful Go Cowboys. Much love, man. Appreciate you. Now, let me make sure. Yep, we got you there. Now, on that note, guys, it is time to kind of wrap this up. We got a little overtime tonight. I didn't expect to go this deep into things, but I enjoyed the conversation. We're going to probably take tomorrow off. Might definitely have to take. I'm sorry to say Wednesday. My daughter's going to Italy, so it's kind of a lot of stuff going on. She's leaving in the early morning, so it's going to be maybe tough to go live on Wednesday. But Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're definitely rocking it here. I'm pretty sure almost all those days. We should be here almost all those days. But tomorrow and Wednesday could be a bit tough. Just letting you guys know, family. Things happen. Things come up. Some things are planned, like this thing here going to Italy. First time the daughter's little Jay is leaving the country, not leaving the country, but leaving by herself. Let me put it that way. That's a scary thing for old daddy here. So all my attention is over there as it should be, and I hope you guys understand that. So as I'm looking here, guys, and I'm trying to get the last things here updated here. I got Mr. Marco Seppian in first place so far this week. Jason Renfro in second. Dwayne Broussard in third. Aztec in fourth. And Brandon James Shea in fifth. The monthly gifting leader, Skeptical Fan, gifted 7 so far in July. Jason Renfro, 2. Much love to both of you. June Champion, of course, Skeptical Fan on that side. 35 gifted memberships. And he won the last month before that in May, 24 gifted memberships. So much love and thank you to you guys all across the board. As I said, sponsor of the week, Cash App King and Cash App Leader, and Stream Boss. 4 out of the 5 spots owned by Jason Renfro. He's hanging on with 26 points on the Stream Boss. But Marco Seppian got the overall lead right now over everyone. We'll see where that goes here. Happy 4th of July to each and every one of you guys here in the house. Cactus, you said Jason Garrett was the head coach. Yeah, Jason Garrett was the head coach there. That's right, Carrot Top years. Let me bring up my guy here, Cowboy Thomas, but we call him Garrett for fun. that's one of my buddies there, Cowboy fan. And yeah, he's Jason Garrett lookalike in my opinion. But anyways, those are the Garrett years. But again, you got to remember that Lenahan was running the offense. Even it had the carrotisms in it. You know what I mean? So, no, I think OC was Lenahan in 2016. Garrett ran the offensive. He was offensive coordinator in 2013. Was the last time Garrett touched the offensive coordinator spot. I think. So. No, I think we had Callahan before that too. Garrett, Callahan, and Lenahan. That was the 4 or 5 year span from like the early 2010s to like the 2015 year. That's when we got Lenahan in the mix. I remember that. Trust me, I didn't like Lenahan. I don't like Kellen Moore. Let's hope that, and I didn't like Garrett. Let's hope that McCarthy can make them all eat shit. You know what I mean? Good night, Retro Scotty. Everybody, enjoy your Independence Day, your 4th of July. I mean, I'm off. The wife is not. She's sleeping. She has to work early tomorrow, but she has a half day at least. And everybody be safe out there with the fireworks. Enjoy, celebrate America's independence, and, just party on, guys, and rep that navy blue. Silver, too, and star over everything here. I think I basically did the shout-outs, guys. I mean, thank you all for rocking with. I can't go back any farther, I think. Got Jamar Chase on. I love Bean Dip, Retro Scotty, Mike Aldana, Madman, the wife, of course, Asmodeus in here with us, Cactus G. Let me see. Jaja Binks. We got Aztec. We got many people in here. Hopefully everybody hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Keep growing the family. Retro Scotty in the house. Lost in Translation podcast here with us. The Nightbot rocking it. Oh, man. NDN Boogie here. Much love to you, sir. Thank you for stopping by. Kevin Bilbo rocking it here. Thomas Garrett, the superior Garrett. Orlando Rodriguez. Much love to you, sir. I love Bean Dip. Mark Hovsepian here with us. Skeptical fan rocking the boat. Appreciate him always. Raymond Solis. Much love, brother. You guys bringing all the stats, the info, the knowledge. Thank you guys for making this the experience it is. House Nelson, guess where he's at? He's in the house. Much love, guys. Truly. It's always a fun night when we talk Cowboy football here at the end of it. We do the great wrap-up here with you guys, and you guys make it happen. So, thank you guys. Be safe. Cactus G, Retro, Bean Dip, Jason Rem, for everybody in the house. You know why we do this here on the Nightly. You know why we do this on the Nightly. It's about that navy blue. That's silver, too, and that star. Over everything, guys. Win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly. Right here on My Cowboys Family, we always rep that star over everything. And never forget, here on My Cowboys Family, for now into our 7th year, 6 and beyond. Never forget, here on My Cowboys Family, the number one thing here, now and forever. As always, go Cowboys! And let's get that 6 and beyond. You know the deal here. Just like we did. Let's see them do it. Guys, thank you for being here with us once again. Representing in the chat all night long with your comments, your thoughts on our Cowboys. We can't do this without your 2 cents. And also appreciate your love, your donations, through all the different ways we have here. And for this raffle, guys, the 6-year anniversary raffle going to be done on Sunday. So get your raffle entries. Every $6 you're in, and every $6 on top of that, add another raffle entry. Memberships, bonus, you know the deal here. We've said this before. You know what to do, guys, right? 6 years MCF, boom. Thank you guys for being in it tonight. Dwayne Broussard, Brandon James Shea, Jason Renfro, Aztec, and Mark Hovsepian, all getting closer to either getting another raffle entry or getting additional raffle entries. We'll see you guys on Sunday to see who the winners are, because we got a jersey raffle, your choice, sewn and stitched, and second place, a great T-shirt, Cowboys style by Skeptical Fan. Can't wait to do that Sunday, wrapping up this week, right? But we got a ways to go. We got a lot to talk about, and we got 3 weeks to go before training camp kicks off. 4 weeks before the hitting begins in Oxnard. Thank you all, guys, for rocking it in the drops of knowledge, the drops of love. Now it's time to drop out for the night, clock out here officially. Before we can officially get out of here, guys, enjoy your 4th of July, relock and reload for maybe a bonus stream tomorrow, but definitely we'll be back by Thursday night. Never forget that here in My Cowboys Family, before we can do all that and get on out of here, before we can drop out for the night, as the wife always says, we got to drop the beat. Oh, yeah. Beat's been dropped, guys. Thank you for rocking here with us again. Cannot do this without your love and support. And cannot do this without letting real mathematics be shown. We might have the clown show, right? But you know what they got? every Eagle fan got to be reminded about some basic mathematics, guys. Simple as this. 5 is always greater than 1. And that makes the Eagles cry. Eagles cry. Guys, thank you once again here. Hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell, but you know what to do here. Leave your comments below if there's something we missed or something you wanted to throw in there. And remember, we just got done with another kickoff week here on MCF and another Cowboys chat. We talked about Netflix and chill with Jerry Jones. We talked about 7-Eleven, the dynamic duo, the best duo in the NFL. And, of course, just a little bit of an MCF brainstorming there. They use Jalen Hurts in a lot of different ways that are successful and safe. What about someone like Deuce Vaughn in that same way in that red zone? Not the goal line, but the red zone. We talked about it. Check it out. Let us know what you think right here on MCF, where it's always about that navy blue, that silver 2, that star. Yes, that star always over everything. Never, ever forget the number one thing right here on My Cowboys Family. Much love to everyone in the house, even the haters in the back. Appreciate you all, guys. Thank you once again. Stay safe. Have a good rest of your night. Have a great 4th of July. Enjoy it. Be safe. And we'll see you back here again in no time. Have a good one, guys. Peace out. And never, ever forget, Go Cowboys!
Monk on the beat. Monk on the beat.